They said it couldn't be done. Frankly, they said it probably should not have been done. All 150 big boards on Underdog Fantasy streamed here on the Davis Mattek YouTube channel. Mr. Wayne, Peter Overzet Gretzky is here to pass the puck off to me. We're going to be joined by Pat Kerrane here in a little bit as well. 148, 149, and 150 in the big board on stream today. It's Short King summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King summer. Let me tell you what, man. One thing that's really going to chap me is if we get through this experience today and one of my drafts gets canceled and then the contest fills. I would be 10 out of 10 chapped if the contest fills and I have only 149.
It feels like a very Davis Mattek run out for that to happen. Like, it almost feels like it has to happen.
So I'm going to the lake this weekend. So this afternoon, I'm going to get off with Kerrane. I'm going to get in the car and we're out, right? So I really wouldn't even have the option to stream a 150th. I mean, maybe the contest will still be open on Monday. It slowed down a little bit more than I thought. Yeah, Pete, we got 3 more left. You were gracious enough to join me this morning. Kind of what are your thoughts, as the least desirable record in best ball streaming is about to be broken?
Yeah, I want to actually announce. So I just checked. I've done 25 big boards. And so immediately after this, I'm going to go live and do 125 straight big boards. You know that? Yeah, man, you have a sickness. We were talking about it on, I don't know, whatever show we did that. I did the 150 and Neil did it over the span of 4 months because you have May, June, July, and August, and you condensed it into an even tighter window. You probably could have even finished earlier if you wanted to. I purposefully wanted to spread it out because I wanted them to be on the shows throughout the summer. What were you thinking with the pacing?
So I started out super hot, basically starting a stream and looking at the number and being like, oh my God, I have 112 drafts left to stream. I was like, we just need to do as many of these as possible. But this is what happened. We drafted too fast. There were a couple weeks I probably did 30 streamed drafts in a given week. So when I started drafting in the dinger, I was like, well, I'll just do these dingers instead. I'll just do some members only dingers for a while, and it worked out. Yeah, I think the pacing was great, and frankly, Peter, I'll probably do it again. Do you want to do a slappy team while we're here? Do you want to do Jefferson? Do we just want to slap it up?
Yeah, I'm sick of taking Barkley. I did one on Best Ball Breakfast where I auto timed out on Barkley just because I didn't want to be responsible for actually clicking it myself.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna have all summer, to just be letting ourselves fall victim to the acolytes of the running back community, where it's just like, sure, yeah, I got to take Derrick Henry, whatever. You're going to make me take Joe Mixon.
I do think, I've been thinking about this lately. We could be set up for a generational correction as zero RB bros. When you think about all of these rookie running backs, and a bunch of them are going to land in semi-committee situations, right? You're going to have Cam Scatabo go to the Commanders. You're going to have these spots that seem kind of gross, but the rookie's probably going to win out. And we're probably going to get these Bucky Irving-esque prices on a lot of these backs. The running back lovers will come in, be drafting their guys early, and the zero RB prices could be really, really nice from round 10 on.
Just wait until Silva gets his hands on the top 150 and he's like, Joe Mixon had 1,400 yards last year and he's a 5th round pick. These spreadsheet socialists don't know anything. Although, Peter, you know this, the call is very much coming from inside the house here. So it's if all the streamers all summer are like, dude, it's a generational zero running back draft board. We're taking the
Are
number
you
one
mocking the comment I just said right back to me?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm saying that I think it's not going to be as clean of a layout as we expect. Because I think what I expect and what you expect is that the ETR ranks come out, Best Ball Mania opens, June, July get here. Some of the more casual drafters, people have never heard of the big board, start drafting, and we're going to see the running backs creep up. That's what we're hoping. But I wonder if that's actually not true. I wonder if people are just like, oh, dude, my rankings have Joe Mixon here, so I'm taking him here.
Well, yeah, I get that part. I'm more talking about like the rookies and timeshares. Like we talked on shit chasing the other day. What if Trevion Henderson goes to the Titans? And we were all like, we're going to still be really excited about that. Everyone's in the chat like, too much competition with Pollard and Spears or whatever.
Right.
Henderson's going to dust those guys. So I think we're going to get a lot of spots like that look fake committee-esque, and the talented rookies will basically be there for us at a discount. That's what I'm kind of counting on.
No, and so that I think is like fait accompli, right? Where it's just like we are going to be betting on Devin Neal as the running back 3 on whatever depth chart, or RJ Harvey as the running back 3 on the Packers depth chart, or just something like that. And last year, basically the only 0 running back situation that broke the way of the Slappy, I guess Bucky Irving and Chase Brown. Those situations broke the way of the Slappy. Every other situation broke the way of Evan Silva. So, it is what it is. Where are you at? Where are you at with Tyreek?
I'm not taking him in this range. Like if he falls to the mid to late third, but like pressing Tyreek over Devonta Adams just seems wild to me.
Honestly, very similar risk. I feel like somehow people think that he's younger. Do you want to do Bucky then?
Sure.
Yeah, we're just going to do a full a slap orchestra here, just a real work of art. I frankly my favorite move is dragging guys up to this turn here. What do you want to do? We've got Jefferson and Bucky.
I don't mind DJ Moore. I haven't gotten a ton of him. I like getting Caleb around his ADP slot. It kind of lines up with this early pick as well.
I like pulling him up, and I mean I just have him ranked over JSN, Garrett Wilson, and Terry McLaurin. And frankly, I feel like very strong about that. Actually, I'm surprised that the ADP machinations were Deebo Samuel up, 20 spots, I think 6 or 7 positional wide receiver spots, but McLaurin's ADP has not really moved. Like that seems very surprising to me.
Well, the other thing about DJ Moore, I had been initially baking in some hesitation. Hey, Keenan Allen signs. Keenan, despite being dusty, can still earn targets. I mean, if we don't have Keenan and we're getting this year 2 leap from this offense, Ben Johnson here, and now DJ Moore has even less target competition, theoretically, like, shouldn't he be slowly inching up? Or are we still working under the assumption that Keenan's going to re-sign there?
I think the market is kind of always trying to hold 2 minds. Like a market can't respond the way an individual would. Like one individual person could be like, Keenan needs dust. It's over. It doesn't matter. And then if, the other section of the market is saying, Keenan's coming back, or, I mean, there are some people who are just like not Caleb Williams believers. They're like, Ben Johnson can't fix him.
Yeah. And I try to be better about that. So like, because I'm punishing Tyreek Hill in my mental ranks, I am pushing up Jalen Waddle. Like I'm saying, if I'm making this stand,
yes,
how else can I be right about it? Because Jalen Waddle is massively undervalued if you think Tyreek Hill is massively overvalued.
Well, right. You have to make a concerted effort in your exposures and in your ranks to have consequences of your priors. So if you're super light on Tyreek, like let's say I actually have Tyreek ranked right at ADP. But like, let's say you're like, dude, I'm only taking Tyreek if he gets to 32 or whatever. Then you should have Waddle clearly at the front of that Sutton, Waddle, Olave, Judy, Tet style of tier, I think, because there's really no way that like what is Michael Leone's ETR median projection for Jalen Waddle in week 1 if Tyreek is not active? Like he's probably like the 3rd highest scoring wide receiver of the slate.
Yeah, and you don't have to do guesswork on it. We know what his projection looks like in that offense without Tyreek, and he's completely up to the challenge to be an alpha wide receiver 1 if he needs to be.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is also that DJ Moore is just like a great player, and whenever he's gotten targets, he's been good. And Keenan Allen not being there. Now, I mean, theoretically, they might be in the market for a pass catcher at 10. I mean, we did the mock draft stuff on ADP Chasing on Monday. Tyler Warren. I mean, Tet is probably, I would say Tet is like 87% likely to be on the board when the Bears are picking. I don't think it's likely, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. And they do. The Dolphins should be a sneaky, likely landing spot for a rookie wide receiver. I mean, I don't know how they feel about their Malik Washington experiment, but if things are shaky with Tyreek, they get thin dangerously fast.
Nah, dude, they got Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. It's fine. They're just gonna target Devin Achane, 6.5 times per game, despite not really liking Jalen Wright. Jaden Daniels never really goes this late. I'd be tempted on him. I'd be tempted on Rome. How do you feel about Addison with Jefferson? I don't love that spot either.
I honestly like setting up the double here with Rome.
Yeah.
I think that, you're getting him at the right price. You're not having to reach. And now we're going to be able to get Caleb with one of those picks.
We cornered the Caleb Williams market. We're so much less likely to get sniped there. I like taking Addison as well. Honestly, not even because I love Addison, but just to not get jammed on McCarthy. McCarthy's a guy who like sneakily goes way ahead of ADP. So we could do Addison. We could do Kittle went. We could do Tet. We could do Sutton, Godwin, Olave. I don't care.
I'm good with Addison or Tet. Both those seem.
Let's do the double, and hope that we get a Week 17 game between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings.
We might actually not even watch. We might just have like our entire team playing in one game, which might not be optimal.
Herzig did famously say that you do not want your quarterbacks against each other in Week 17 because you can only use one score, and you want to have exposures to different environments. I think I sided with him being wrong.
What's happening with the Best Ball Fantasy League? Is that taking shape?
I've not heard nothing from no DMs, no messages from Herzig in a month or so. To be fair, I have not reached out to him either.
It does seem like the New York stuff took some wind out of sails, I believe, with some of that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of you just, it's not really something that you ever think about until you think about it, where you're like, oh yeah, New York is this massive state. Underdog is based out of New York. Like there's just a lot that impacts that. I remain optimistic that it will be solved before 2025 is up, but I don't think it's coming anytime like super soon.
The other thing, at least with best ball compared to say the daily slate, you feel that impact way more with a contest that's going to span 4 months where most people are going to travel at some point outside of the state of New York. They're going to load up on slow drafts. Like it's probably not going to impact season-long best ball that much.
A guy I've never heard of retired. The Saints offense is going to be a total dumpster fire. I don't think the Saints ADPs could sink much lower, frankly. The Saints are all dust. I removed Derek Carr from my ranks, Peter. I'm done. Yeah.
No, there's no, like, I will click Milroe over him. I'll click Russell Wilson. I haven't, but I would click him over Derek Carr. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah. I'm a full blown Milroe slappy now. So what can you
I just wrote up on Fantasy Life because I've done 3 of the biggest board drafts over like the past couple weeks. And in one of them, I ended up with Dart as my QB3. And then in the most recent one, I ended up with Milroe as my QB3, which I still can't tell if it feels fun or just disgusting.
No, I think Milroe is fun. Dart is, and this is someone who I believe Dart is my most drafted quarterback.
You've done a 180 on your Dart takes.
Well, you know me, man. I'm so market based. I'm always level headed. It's when when the market is wrong, I'll tell them that. And for a while, the market was on equilibrium with me. All right, let's do really any of these running backs. Actually, are great here.
Do you just want to load up like divisional or Caleb Johnson if we want to get a little rookie in here?
We could do Montgomery, we could do Hawkinson, and just be absolutely all. It's probably a little bit early for Hawkinson. We could do Montgomery.
Montgomery or Caleb Johnson, whatever your flavor you're feeling.
You know what? Or James Conner.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer the Montgomery or Caleb play.
You know what? David Montgomery is not a fun pick to make in April. You know, Herzig would have definitely taken David Montgomery there and increased his advance equity.
And like the Caleb ADP could be a round and a half higher, or it could be 3 rounds lower in about a week. So that's the fun thing about clicking him right now.
Yeah, I am still very woke to Caleb Johnson, but as Dwayne pointed out on Chip Chasing yesterday, watching 4 minutes and 30 seconds of Just Bombs productions of Caleb Johnson does not make me an expert. Although Jacob Gibbs, who works for CBS, had a really great let's make this pick. I mean, it's clearly Pearsall, I think.
I was going to say, if Pearsall wasn't there, I was going to be like, let's pull the Travis Hunter card here, but I'm good with Pearsall.
Jacob Gibbs did a really good thread of all of Caleb Johnson's targets as a senior. He looks pretty freaking good at doing it. I mean, not that I am gonna break down running back receiving film, but like the point of looking at it from that perspective is like, just can the guy do it? Like, yeah, he could definitely do it.
Who are the biggest film versus metric battles this year? Caleb Johnson is a huge one. The film guys love Caleb. The metrics people now don't love him as much.
I mean, Loveland probably. Well, no, Loveland's still pretty analytic-y. Let me pull up the beast.
Do you know what Scatabo was like this year's lad, in that the metrics people were like really kind of going to be skeptical of him, and then he had a pretty decent combine, and then they're like, all right, fuck it, I'll just give in to big Scatabo.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's where I was. Bond is one. The film people kind of like Bond more than Kyle Williams is the biggest one.
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle Williams is the biggest one. Yeah, Kyle Williams is like the I mean, that is a couple guys I really like that the metrics don't like as much. Savion Williams from TCU, I think is pretty strong. And I am just, dude, please Nick Nash get drafted. I want Nick Nash to get drafted so bad. That would be.
How many times have you drafted that guy?
Oh, I don't know, probably 10 times if I had to guess.
I don't even think I've seen that name in my queue ever.
I believe he's wide receiver 141. 137. No. He is a converted quarterback who didn't start playing wide receiver until 2 years ago, but people thought that he should have won the Biletnikoff over Travis Hunter.
I love, like, is there anything that's more Davis Mattek catnip than the word converted in a prospect profile?
Now Kerrane likes when they convert from defense. I like when they convert from a different offensive position. Like Roschon, converted quarterback. Tyrone Tracy, converted wide receiver. Brashard Smith is a really good one. I bet the film people are going to like him more as well. Yeah. But I do love a converted offensive player.
It's funny, like my shorthand for some of these players are like when I see their name pop up, because believe it or not, I haven't done hundreds of hours of research on them. I just literally see this year's Tyrone Tracy. That's like my complete proxy for Brashard Smith, and I feel like it serves me well whenever I see his name pop up.
I mean, I like it, and man, if Brashard Smith ends up being a 3rd round pick, I mean, whichever one of these round 19 guys that banks that draft capital is just going to be huge win. All right.
Well, and I mean, Tyrone Tracy was a 5th round pick. So like, I mean, we can even meet in the middle as like a 4th rounder, and that would still be fine.
Some of these guys, I'm just hoping they get drafted.
Can we pull off the Brock Caleb combo here?
Yeah, unless you want to do Jonnu.
I think getting these two quarterbacks here
is better. I agree.
Yeah, no, and then we can get JJ cheap as our third.
Yeah, that's what you think, man. The people don't really let you. The streets don't really let you get cheap JJ McCarthy anymore.
Did we look at the turn drafter? I was thinking we might have done Brock first. Does he have Kittle, dude?
Yeah, he does.
Yo, Davis.
I wasn't paying it. Yeah, classic streaming mistake.
Oh my God. You've done 150 of these and you're not looking at what the turn drafter is doing?
You really hate to see it. So we could take a tight end, or we could take our wide receiver.
Probably just lock up JJ McCarthy now. No, Jonnu's good because we need a tight end and he opens up Tua in the 140s as well. Also,
just for whatever it's worth, Brock is either my number 1 or number 2 most drafted quarterback now.
He's a good pick.
I'd have to. Yeah, he is. But I would say I'd have to pull this up on the solver or the roster explorer or whatever. I would bet Pearsall Purdy is my number 1 stack. Which I don't know. I don't know
it's
how much.
Funny.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Because I think Purdy's one of my top drafted quarterbacks too, but most of mine is with either Jennings or Kittle. I like Pearsall. For some reason, the stacks haven't lined up as much for me with Pearsall.
I just have Pearsall ranked ahead of that tier. Yeah. Like I have Pearsall at the top of that tier. So the sidekick is just always sidekick, and the draft caddy. You're just telling me you got to do it. I don't have Pearsall over Jennings, but the Jennings price has gotten nuts. Jennings is the wide receiver 35 now, dude.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. What, with early 6th round, right? Like that's normally where I feel like I get him.
Yeah, but look, if we want to start getting into truth serum takes, like I'm pretty into Juwan. I think I famously called him Randy Moss during the Battle Royale streams last year. Yeah. But like, let's be real. This is a 28-year-old converted college quarterback who didn't break out until his 5th year in the NFL.
No, I get that. I do think there's probably a divide. It's like people who played Battle Royales or DFS and saw what Juwan Jennings was doing on a weekly basis are probably more in than the like season-long bros who like didn't draft him, didn't have him on much, and they're just like fucking Juwan Jennings. I don't know, man. Juwan Jennings looked fucking good last year.
You want to talk about a film versus analytics guy. The film guys like Juwan Jennings, like Ben Solak and some of these other film guys. They were calling him 3rd and 1 because so often the 40 like post looking back, one of the big things was a huge percentage of his targets came on 3rd down or in the red zone. Also, I missed this earlier. Denver Schmidt, big day.
Ooh.
Thanks for the content the last few months, buddy. It has been a pleasure. And by a pleasure, I mean, it's certainly been an experience.
It was about the friends you made in the chat along the way.
No, honestly, I will say this. The dudes who have been with me in the trenches in February and in March, grinding these out, I promise you, man, we're going to get to August, and I'm going to be remembering you guys. Like, I'm going to be remembering Nick P. and Artillery Frost and Tyler and Tim Holstead. Like, these dudes, those are names I'm going to remember because, like, we've been talking about Kayshon Boutte versus Demario Douglas, since fucking February 5th. Those are memories that don't leave you, man. You remember who was in the trenches with you.
I feel like you do have I remember when I finished my 150, I legitimately felt like exhausted, just kind of like, not like physically, but almost like emotionally exhausted. Like, man, this was a lot. And then there was like a really clean switch to the NFL season, which is a completely different pace than draft season. But your marker is finishing
this up. I'm about to draft even harder. Yeah.
Do it again. Do it all over again.
Yeah, I'm going to draft even harder. Like this was just the appetizer. All right, so we get freaking Mason would have been a really nice buy for this team. So we can take McCarthy here. I got no issue with it. Another thing we could do is set up another stack with Love with like Wicks and Dubs.
What if you take May, or to take the pressure off of like the McCarthy Tua stuff, and then that way we don't have to take one of them with one of these two picks?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and there are infinite May backstacks, and I'm also like totally comfortable with McCarthy on his own.
I almost always avoid running back in this range.
I know,
I'm just terrified of all these guys.
Well, you know what the real move is? The real move would either be to take McCarthy or Tua, or just drag up a dude that we like. I mean,
I was gonna say, what if you want to? Do you want to drag up Loveland? Just like get another tight end with some upside.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, I that's probably one of my most combinatorial pairings, Jonnu and Loveland. And now if we get McCarthy after ADP, that's great. If we get Tua, that's great. We could even theoretically be done at 2.
Yeah, we were talking about this with Dwayne and what his model was in. I recommend that if you guys didn't check out Chip Chasing yesterday, it was a cool conversation with him. But he was talking about like his model essentially having Loveland and Warren as kind of identical prospects. And his model is focused on what kind of fantasy production are they going to give us the first 3 years out. And basically just being like, if they're identical and Loveland's going 2 rounds past Warren in all these drafts, just like load up on as much Loveland. Because we are probably going to see a flip. Like I'm envisioning the scenario where like Warren goes to the Colts and, you know, Loveland goes wherever, and flips him. And now this is backwards. And it's like, well, at least you loaded up on a bunch of cheap Loveland now.
I mean, Loveland, I think let's guess. I bet he's pretty close to my most drafted tight end. 201. Njoku, Mason Taylor, Hunter Henry, Colston, Loveland. God, that gunner helm just sitting and staring at me like his big ugly ankle.
How much of him do you have?
Like 13% or something.
That's sick.
He was my dude before the combine. People were talking about him like they're talking about Mason Taylor and Arroyo. He like smashed at the Senior Bowl. Everyone loved him. He's got the Texas pedigree and all that stuff. But I mean, he didn't even, I believe Gunnar Helm did not even run at the Texas Pro Day because his ankle was still messed up. Yeah, still not fully healed. So we actually have no idea like what Gunnar Helm's RAS or whatever would have been. Now, yes, it's only 13% because of the ankle. It would have been like 25% because he was, to me, I mean, I think he's clearly better than Mason Taylor and Arroyo. The production stuff on Arroyo is like a joke.
Arroyo is the one that feels like the odd man out in that Harold Fannin, you get the really tantalizing upside. Mason Taylor, you get the draft capital. And then Arroyo, it's like he could be a 5th round pick.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he could also be a Tip Ryman, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some of these guys. Also,
his prospect profile, when I was reading up on it, is a little tricky with how much time he missed as well. And so there's kind of some gaps there where the sample size is pretty small. So there still could be something there, but it's like, why do you need to take Arroyo when Fannin is still cheap everywhere?
See, I disagree that rookie tight ends are bad bets.
Oh, that's an awful take.
Yeah, I think they're really good. I think they're really good bets. And they are like year over year, they've gotten also this dude right after us snapped off McCarthy without a Viking. So
they that framework was true 4 or 5 years ago. Like how these tight ends come in, how they're utilized. Now we talked about this on Chip Chasing, and Kerrane has what do we got here?
Do you want to do 2 or do you want to take 2 running backs we like?
Is McCarthy gone?
Yeah, McCarthy's gone.
All right, let's lock up Tua and we'll figure out running back.
Or this could be a Milrow team.
No, I like Tua with Jonnu. And then we can fucking star method Nick Westbrook at Keenan.
Yeah. Haven't the sidekick, having the sidekick and the caddy up has prevented, you know, probably the biggest part of my brand, the star method. You know, It's a bummer. Although, and I haven't, you know, barely had to draft on mobile. Star method is for drafting on mobile. Now I don't have to do it anymore. All right.
I heard
I'm getting slappy here.
There's actually a really nice Oh yeah, I'm definitely rookie running back here for sure. Sorry, sidekick, we're not taking Javonte about to get cucked Williams.
Yeah. Real.
No, I heard one of the features that people want that I think will get added soon is being able to sort your queue, your starred queue by ADP.
Oh, yeah,
Which
that's sick.
that will save the lives of star method slappies who have been accidentally auto drafting higher than ADP players.
No, that's huge. Also, we did not. You sniped us first. Chunk the Deuce. You snapped off Brock Purdy from us first. So
no, we did that Brock Purdy thing to ourselves. There was no way he was taking Caleb. We fucked that up.
Well, point being, you know, the drafter. It's yes, Pete. I believe Pete does know about the one stream draft that Liam sabotaged.
Well, if I still reject, like in that spot, you absolutely bully the shit out of Liam. No. My screen is now the one on here. This is the draft. You're not what it's just another drop in the bucket for him. It's not, there's no goals around that draft. How you didn't get your draft up on the screen does not make sense to me.
You know what it's like with Liam, dude.
No, I wouldn't. Liam, you are done riding my co-streamed coattails unless you put this fucking stream on the board right now. Sit down, chess boy. Put the damn draft up. That's what you should have done.
It's not really in my personality, and it's not really in Liam's. It's also not really in Liam's personality to allow that to happen either. Like both of those things were like pretty unlikely.
I would have ended the stream, fired up a new StreamYard real quick. Oh, because I remember one time, Davis, that happened on the Swolecast, right? Where we were all trying to get into the same draft, and I got in a different draft.
Yes.
I was like, no, this has to be put on screen. Like, you guys are just watching me draft now because this has to be streamed.
Yeah. Are you going to commit? I don't remember what show I heard you talking about this on the other day, but you were talking about if you wanted to broadcast all 150 of your BBMs.
I'm not like committing to it or being like, I'm the road to 150. I'm not doing that, but I was just doing the math in my head. And I think like all of them will end up being broadcasted in some form or another. So, I mean, we're going to start drafting on the Swolecast. And I'm going to be doing videos for the Deposit Kingdom with BBMs. I just think the math of it, we're just going to be drafting nonstop, that it's not going to be that hard over 4 months.
Correct. Yeah. Undecided how I'm going to commit to doing that. I mean, I'm sure all 150 might, but I don't want to commit to 150 streamed because I like doing the videos like how you do it. What is nice is to be able to have something that can be pre-recorded and be published on Saturday or Sunday, so I don't have to stream on Saturday or Sunday.
And like I even had some of mine ended up being on After Dark, which was premium, which is like it's still streamed. And then if the draft I think I did do it with one of mine that had made the semis, then I ungated it. If people wanted to go back and watch that.
Yeah. Algier, Rashad White, Jalen Wright.
Probably not Rashad with
with Bucky.
What are we at? A 3? Yeah, we should probably go. I mean, I'm fine with Jalen Wright if we just want to get another piece for the Dolphins.
Do I have my fingers are not going to be nimble enough. God damn it.
Classic. Oops, I didn't actually want to take Jalen Wright and my fingers.
No, I have no issue there. Now this is probably like our last chance to take a good wide receiver. Io Manor, Coker.
Dude, I'm telling you, just pull up Kyle Williams. Just take him.
I took him. I think I took him at like 14.4.
It doesn't matter.
Yesterday. No, that was not a fake accidental click. That was totally legitimate.
It felt kind of fake to me. That's kind of
there's this thing that happens, and part of it is that I am just not comfortable enough using the sidekick to do it because I always click it one too many times. But you know when you click this little arrow, then you lose the draft button.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all. That was not a fake click. I have no strong opinion. I promise you, I have no strong opinions between Jalen Wright and Russell Wilson.
I will say, straight up, ... in a vacuum, give me Algier. I think his like role likelihood of having more competition is less than Wright's, where would not be shocked to see Mike McDaniel fall in love with one of these running backs. But we have Tua, and I don't know. I break any ties in favor of correlation in those spots.
Salted Cod, I have to push back on this. Kyle Williams is the definition of right wing slappy. You are not understanding the dynamic. If you
I think he meant right wing slappy. He just mixed him up in his head.
Kyle
Williams is like you said, the epitome of right wing
slappy. Him and Tony Pollard. That's Artillery Frost, or that was Ryan Jones who came up with left wing, right wing slappy. Artillery Frost has a great one that he came up with. It's Chaperone.
Where Kerrane told me about this the other day. Yeah,
it's so good. I really like it. So good. Yeah. All right. I mean, we're basically done. We have our 3 quarterbacks: Caleb Williams, Drake May, Tua, Bucky, Caleb Johnson, Giddens, Algier. Algier, honestly, is a chaperone in this room. Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Kyle Williams, Jonas Smith, Colston, Loveland. So we can kind of do whatever we want.
Other than the quarterback snafu, this is working out well.
I don't know. I think I might have preferred this to be a Milrow team, actually. If you look at the 2v2, we go Giddens, Harvey. So then we get to take Kyle Williams and Io Manor here instead of having to take Algier, and then we end it with Milrow at pick 194. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, Caleb Drake, you can push QB3 for sure. Do we want to grab Henry with May as one of these two and be done at tight end?
For sure. Yeah. Henry comes like preloaded when you select May. Kyle Williams could be a Patriot. They pick in the right spots of the draft, and they don't weight production at all. they don't care. They don't care about production in any sense.
It'll be great to see which wide receiver the Patriots give the kiss of death in this draft class.
Yeah. All right. You want to do running back, or do you want to do 7th wide receiver? They're still actually.
What are the running backs? They're starting to fly off the interesting ones, right?
The running backs are basically dead. The running backs available now will be available in the next. Justice Hill, Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah. All right. Maybe like Jalen Royals get some upside here.
Royals, Mitchell, Tolbert, Slayton. Yeah, we'll do Jalen.
Yeah, might as well do the rookie.
Hunter Henry is chaperone ass pick. Yeah, people do love Ty Johnson. Getting a lot of this. Getting a lot of this last
Why?
time. I mean, it might just be Lutz. Because they signed him to a 2-year deal, and I want to say he scored. It was like I think he had like. All right, I gotta look this up so that I don't. Yeah, there was a Josh Allen quote. Oh, this is a great question. After 150 drafts, I'll pick 3,000 times. Mr. Irrelevant. I hope it's Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. It's got to be the most left-wing slappy pick imaginable.
Well, it sounds like it has to be, what is it, Devin Nash, Neil Nash? Who were you talking about earlier?
Nick Nash. You just cross-pilled Devin Neal and Nick Nash's names.
Yeah, I mean. No, it's got to be Lan Larison. You have to take
it does have to be Lan Larison. Yes, correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, it's got to be. Yes. It's got to be Lan. Although he's big timing me, so maybe not, man. Maybe we're done with the Lan Larison experience.
What happened? Because that was on the books, and now it's just like.
So he scheduled.
He checked out the channel, and he's like,
yeah. Maybe he scheduled a time with me. I sent him the calendar invite. He accepted it, and then he texted me the day of, and he was like, "Actually, he said he was moving that day." So. I don't know.
Right,
I mean, I'm sure his life right now is probably the most hectic it's literally ever been. Like probably this 2-week period is about as brutal as a 23-year-old college football.
You mean just from like a mental standpoint of
Well,
anxiously
he's
waiting.
probably working out. He's probably moving. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to get drafted. My agent's telling me this. The NFL's telling me, like, I'm hearing all this different stuff. I'm trying to stay fit. I don't know where I'm going to be living, right? Like, I don't know if I'm going to get drafted. I don't know if I'm going to get signed. I don't know if I'm going to be playing in Canada. Like, who knows? You know, like a day 3 draft pick's life is probably wild because you don't know. Wow,
Yeah,
they're rolling in. The Membies are rolling in at the end of the road.
Davis, that's what you should do. You know, you should say to the people, 150 stream drafts, all paid walled, pay up to get the 150.
So I think my plan is that one day of the week for Best Ball Mania, I'm just gonna do members only. Like, you want to hang out? You want to hang out on this Wednesday or whatever? Sorry, dude. Paywall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a members only thing that I'm toying with for this summer. But yeah, I think it's good.
All right. We did miss out on my favorite chaperone, Elijah Mitchell. Do you have a favorite chaperone?
Is Shipley gone?
Will Shipley is gone.
Damn. I don't know. Like, is Jarquez Hunter gone?
Jarquez Hunter's
That's
right
not
here.
a chaperone. That's
not
a
it's not a chaperone, but it's fine. We're letting our hair down. It's the last day. It's the last day.
Yeah, like some of the chaperone picks for running backs are so. The other one I do is Kendre Miller.
Yes. Yeah, same. We'll do Kendre here, and then we can do a wide receiver or a running back with our final pick. I don't really think it matters.
So what is it? This is 148 or 149?
This is 148. So I'll do 2 with Kerrane, and then we'll be done. The team is Caleb Williams, Drake May, Tua, Bucky, Caleb Johnson, DJ Giddens, Tyler Algier, Jarquez Hunter, chaperone. Although a chaperone with like 17 career carries in Kendre Miller, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Kyle Williams, Jalen Royals, Jonnu Smith, Colston, Loveland, and Hunter Henry. Are you doing Best Ball Breakfast at the same time, 8 a.m. Central to noonish Central? Is that the plan?
Man, your Central times broke my brain. You mean like for draft season?
Yes.
Yeah. It'll be the 10 a.m. and I'll have some announcements. There's actually going to be a little tweak to it this year. But when God closes a door, he opens a window.
Basically, all I'm asking is if I wanted to do my weekly schedule to start when Best Ball Breakfast is over to do a redirect.
Yes, but I go 4 hours on. Okay. So I'll be 10 to 2 because I do 4 drafts, 1 solo, 3 with guests.
Yeah. Okay.
But look, I do I like, with friends trying to work around and do redirects and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going to be streaming a ton, and it's going to be impossible not to overlap.
Well, that is good for me. That has nothing to do. Like, I'm not staying out of your hair. It's good for me to have that set up. Is all.
No, I'll tell you. And I think I'm going to have like more of an afternoon stream on Wednesdays is going to be the other one that I'm probably going to add. Yeah. But we could talk about that because I have an idea potentially for like a draft stream idea, and I think it might also work well just on the Swolecast, but I'll tell you, and we can see where to fit it in. I think it'd be a fun concept.
Yeah. I probably need to actually get a schedule. Like last year, I actually did get into a schedule last year. I just didn't do enough. I only streamed like twice a week, so it'll be more. I mean, it's gonna be 5 days a week, basically. We'll have to figure out the most effective way to do that. Peter, who do you want to be your final Best Ball Spring pick here on as a guest on the Davis? This is your Gretzky pick. This is you handing the puck off.
Man, nothing says Gretzky pick like taking a fucking dusty Patriots wide receiver. I think it probably is like you're getting booty there.
to click on.
I like Matt Collins is the guy I do with May late, but
yeah. Look, man.
Let me see the full wide receiver list.
Here I'll sort.
Are there any rookies that we shouldn't pass? I mean,
you can't even get Torrey Horton anymore, man.
I know it's that ship sailed. It's like anyone who misses out on Kyle Williams just like rage clicks Torrey Horton right after he comes off the board.
Harmon's been chatting about this dude, Elijah Badger.
Yeah, I think I'd be Butte or Hollins.
The aforementioned. Oh, if Savion's.
Oh, your guy Savion. That's fine.
Convert. No, you know what? He's a guest on the stream. Matt Collins doesn't wear shoes. Bang. I've got a tea time tomorrow out at the lake, and it's supposed to rain. I think we're gonna golf without shoes. So we're gonna be doing some Matt Collins golf.
I bet Matt Collins does not watch Severance and reads lots of old literature as well.
For sure, Matt Collins has not watched Severance. And you know what? Suss is making a good point. We could have just taken a future Patriot. there is no more Patriots player than Nick Nash.
You do that weird ass Nick Nash stuff when I'm not on the stream. I don't want to be associated with that.
You know what? That's fair. Yeah, that was a crazy thing that happened yesterday. The Jaguars were talking about their wide receivers and just did not mention Gabe Davis. Just no mention.
Man, the Gabe Davis, someone should do, like, I would love, if you're trying to get in the content game, I feel like a really fun activity would be to find the players, like, since like even Best Ball Mania launched, you know, who have had the biggest swings in their ADP year to year. You know, some of them could just be precipitous drops, the Kyle Pitts stuff, but like the Gabe Davis, I guess, has all been drops, because there was that Best Ball Mania where we were drafting him in the 5th and 6th round. And then he's like on the Jags. And we're like, all right, 12th round, like this is worth the flyer. Now this year, it's like the team's not even mentioning him. And we are going to take Bretton Strange and Parker Washington over him. But yeah, I would love to see the players who have slingshotted the most.
Will Fuller. Where are we going to be taking Kyle Pitts as a Tennessee Titan next year? You know, that's a pretty good one. Like, will Kyle Pitts on a 1-year, $4 million non-guaranteed J.K. Dobbins contract still have a Best Ball Mania ADP?
I feel like, how this has to go for Kyle Pitts is he doesn't even pay off his current ADP this year, but like goes nuclear in week 17, like 102 tutties. And we're all like, fuck, we're back. And next year he's just getting drafted in the 12th round again after one game. Is how I mean,
to be fair, Kyle Pitts did have that game last year. It didn't come in week 17, but he had the super nuke. All right, Peter, what do you have going on today? I guess, you know what? I actually have to add you to the how do I add?
I don't even know if that's happening, to be honest. Basically, it was going to be one of those things. And you're going to laugh as I say this.
If
Dave took the initiative and hit me up, I was going to be like, yeah. But because I basically did this now instead, where I was like moving my schedule around. And I was like, I'll do Davis's 150. Unless Kitchen like comes out of the woodwork here.
Well, he's not going. You know what he's going to do? He's going to text you at 1:47 p.m. Central Time, 2:47 p.m. Eastern Time, and say, "Did you set the super yard up?" I mean, that's what he's going to do.
Let's just both agree that you don't have to get me set up in the Swolecast StreamYard, and I'm going to not commit to doing that with Kitchen, because it'll feel really weird to me. The whole point of me dropping in is just like, oh, you guys set it up, like I'll come and do it, but I do not want to be in charge with organizing this today.
No, although to be fair, you should have StreamYard access to the Swolecast anyways, because I might... Yeah. Be out of town, just like whatever. There might be.
Yeah, we can set that up for later. But I don't think Lauren and I have a date tonight. We're going into the city, and like I can't be like having Kitchen keeping me late with his bullshit.
The people, they like this dude is so obsessed with AI, so obsessed with getting computers to do his work for him, when I know he's got about, let's generously call it 3 hours of work a day for Late Round Industries, and he still never gets anything pre-scheduled for no thumbnail. Like the thumbnail comes out 3 minutes before the show is ready.
I don't know how he lives. It gives me stress just thinking about it. It is a really funny dynamic I've been thinking about lately. You know, JJ sends us the meme. Like JJ watching the Swolecast now with Kitchen as his employee is just like a really funny thing whenever I think about it.
So he texted me during the show on Tuesday. This is pretty funny. I haven't shared this yet. JJ texts me and goes, "I'm not a Swolecast sub, but it is curious the Kitchen didn't give me, his boss, an invite to Manus." He gave it to me, who didn't use it, and then he gave it away to one of the members instead of giving it to
Kitchen's gatekeeping the AI stuff, because if he gives that up and JJ's like, oh, I could just use this, he realizes that Kitchen's ass is going to get fired, because he's like, I'll just create an AI agent to do all this stuff.
I'll just create a David Kitchen LLM, which is just functionally like, what color should this guide be? Like, can you imagine how this is a good bit. How much would you pay to see David's AI like work log history, like the left bar of his ChatGPT, just all the things he
screen shared that once on Swolecast and immediately took it down, and we started razzing him about a few of them.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't want mine to be seen either. Like, it's a mix of like very normal stuff, but then also just like, you know, it starts to feel a little private.
I mean, have you experienced this yet? There's this funny thing when you're trying to get ChatGPT to do something, you're just trying to learn, and you're like, I actually need to ask a question about this. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to Google this question about ChatGPT, and then obviously Google doesn't give you what you want. Yeah. I've been having that experience as I try to get ChatGPT to make thumbnails for me, which it's not great.
No, I mean, I assume it's been your last two have been ChatGPT ones with like the.
Yes, so they're fine, but you could still tell it's not art, you know.
Yeah, it's just like, I hate what's happened whenever I've used it is like, I asked for a basic numbers thing, and it's like always like slightly blurred and like shifty,
always
as if it's like drunk. It's like you almost nailed it, but there, like even on yours, like I looked at it today and there was like the little wheel, and then like the numbers were like all weird and off and random. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand why that part of it is so hard for it.
Yeah, that is that is the frustrating thing. Is I'll be sitting there and I'm like, just do exactly this, and it'll be like, okay, and then it does not deliver what you just asked for, and you're like, because I'm not smart enough to understand why, like what prompts to do to fix it, and then it just doesn't. Yeah. So what can you do? All right, Pete, let's get you out of here. Thank you very much for joining. We will be back very soon. I'm gonna do, I believe, Wednesday after Basketball Mania opens, I'm gonna do like a huge mega stream. Like I'm gonna stream for like 7 or 8 hours. So if you want to come on and hang out and do a draft, then that would be great. Yeah, for sure. I think I would be down for that. And if you want to be my, because I'm gonna do like a rotating guest on Basketball Breakfast. If you want to be the first rotating guest on that Monday, I'm in.
And I assume, I don't know what your schedule is for streaming on that, but if you want to do one after that, I can toss you a redirect and you could roll right into something with yours or whatever you end up doing. Yeah, perfect. Just got to schedule and make sure I don't step on Liam's toes. Obviously, is like the big thing. Just gotta check that off the list first. I don't. Liam just has you just completely wrapped around. I mean, he just bullies you. How are you allowing this? Hey man, when you have the ring, when your thumbnail is just the ring, I think that is what you get. That would honestly be a good bit. Like he should just make every single thumbnail the exact same ring, no changes, just completely duplicated. Dude, on the stream on Wednesday, he had the fucking ring on. Oh man, you gotta kiss the ring. You gotta kiss the ring. Well, you gotta kiss the ring. Congratulations, Davis, on one of the most worthless accompliterally in all of basketball.
shout out.
You did it, man. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
All right, later, dude. Thank you for hopping on. All right, guys. Peter is out of here. We can do, while we wait for Kerrane to get here, we can do a little bit of exposure checking. We can check. Who do you guys want? You want to know how much I have of whatever guy? It's true. Liam has one. Best Ball Mania. Okay. Let's pull the drafts back up. This team that we just drafted with Peter: Caleb Williams, Drake May, Tua, Bucky Irving, Caleb Johnson, DJ Giddens, Tyler Algier, Jarquez Hunter, Kendre Miller, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Rome Dunze, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Kyle Williams, Jalen Royals, Jonnu Smith, Colston, Loveland. Yes, we can make a. Yes, let's do that real quick. Let's make a very quick. I'm not gonna use my extenders yet, but we'll do a quick baseball one. Let's just do a very quick baseball one. Let's go to Chicago at Boston. No. We'll do... Oh, here we go. Dodgers at Texas. That's a good one. We'll do Jacob deGrom higher than 6.5 strikeouts. Who do the Athletics play? Oh, there we go. We're going to do Soderstrom higher bases. Bang. Yeah, 40 miles per hour out in Wrigley. I'm not doing that. Not doing that. So here's the issue with NFL prop bets right now. The limits are super low, and some of the guys were talking about what's his name? Jeffrey Benson from Circa Sports was talking about this the other day, about how the books basically cannot win. All right, here we go. This is what we're doing. We're doing Jacob deGrom higher than 6.5 strikeouts. Tyler Soderstrom 0.5 total bases. Chris Paddock lower than 5.5 strikeouts. But yes, the books are basically just on it. The ability to correlate selections and things like that. Yeah, Jeffrey Benson was talking about this the other day. He's the main guy at Circa Sports. He's like, we're just not going to let you guys beat us on this. At the end of the day, we are just not going to let you beat us. All right, let's look at some of the exposures. So as of right now, I have done 4 war rooms, 147 big boards, and 50 little boards. Wow. And look at this. I told this guy that he wasn't going to be here until 10:03, and it's looking like he's showing up super early. Kerrane is going to be hopping in and joining us in any minute. All right. Someone asked Mixon. Joe Mixon, 3.5% of Joe Mixon. Yeah, it's not counting the one that just finished. All right, let's filter for $10 only. 4.1% team level Chiefs exposure. That's a good question. Xavier Worthy, 22%. Hollywood Brown, 13%. Travis Kelce, 10%. Mahomes, 9.5%. Elijah Mitchell, 9.5%. Rashee, I was really light on for a little bit. Isaiah Pacheco, and then Kareem Hunt. I have literally one team. Look at this, man. Before 10:03 a.m. You love to see it. Did you have time to get coffee this morning?
I had time to get coffee. The little French press. Feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
The French press. Yeah, these are pretty respectable Chiefs exposures, I think.
Okay.
We are
Okay.
this is not nearly as bad as it could have
You're
been.
underweight on Rice.
Underweight on Rice.
Let me pull up mine. I still have like 15 left or something. I think 17 left.
Wow, you've been
But
grinding.
I have. I've been really trying to. Okay, so I'm at 16% Rice, 11% Mahomes, 9% Kelsey, 7% Worthy, 6% Hollywood, 3 Pacheco, 2 Noah Gray. Those are from the Kelsey might retire days.
You Hollywood non-believers are gonna feel the pain, I think.
Am I a non-believer? 6%. I'm not fully bought in. I'm questioning. I'm not.
They
I don't have conviction in my fade stance.
I mean, they put him in like a very interesting role in their postseason games. I think he's pretty underrated. And they let Justin Watson go, man. Justin Watson, pretty big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. There's always it's like every year we have to do on the Chiefs someone who's like, yeah, I mean, he's like hasn't been good for years and like couldn't do anything last year, but
Yeah, but
this is the year they're gonna give him a
but
role.
if you think about it,
there's a role with Pat Mahomes. He's played. Do you know he plays with Mahomes? I'm not.
Yeah,
It
turns out it's not even that good.
Yeah,
playing with Mahomes.
It totally could work. I just don't. It's not going to be a big part of my pre-draft portfolio.
Gotta get the wide receiver 3 on that high-powered Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's no upside. There's no like he might break out and be the number one. If you were like he could be the number one, everyone would be like, "What? No, he absolutely could not." So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it feels he's like the best 18th round pick of all time. Who's
who's the wide receiver 59?
Yeah.
I wonder, where do you think the wide receiver 59 was going in BBM1 ADP?
I mean, I don't know, like the 16th round.
Is there any way to find that?
It's probably because it's not even that. That's probably wrong. It's probably not that far off from where it is now. It's like the difference is more about like which receivers we're taking, right? We're getting. I don't know. Maybe are we getting too many receivers?
We're taking
way more.
Way more,
Yeah.
dude. Way
You're
more.
Right. We must be.
So way more and way earlier.
Because I know like in the first few rounds we're taking way more for sure. But I was wondering if it kind of evened out at a certain point. But you're right, probably didn't because more people were going like true robust running back.
Dude, the running back 32 goes after pick 100.
That is definitely not what was happening in BBM1.
That is not what was happening
Dude,
in BBM1.
We got to find when like the running back 25 was going versus now because it's got to be something absurd.
There's got to be a way to find Best Ball Mania 1 average draft position.
Like Mike Davis, I think, was a 5th round pick and would be like an 10th or 11th round pick now.
Dude, he might be a 13th round pick right now.
He might be. I mean, Jerome Ford has about the same projectable
All right,
role.
let me. I cannot find it on Google. Let me try and ask ChatGPT. Can you find Best Ball Mania?
Let me see if Rotoviz has it. I don't think they have one. I think they have 2.
Is there what was that 2019?
Yeah.
Where can I download this, Artillery Frost? Send me the link in Discord if you know where. Control F through that. No, if you Herzig does definitely have his board somewhere. Hayden Winks.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Here we go. I've got it.
Nice.
I think. Can I find it in this? Oh, it's a huge. Oh, this is a huge file. All right, this is gonna be for a later.
Wait,
date.
is it 2021? What year was it? Was it 2021? Because Best Ball Mania 3 was 2022, I guess.
So it's 2019.
So it's 2020. Yeah. I have 2021 on Rotoviz. So it's Best Ball Mania 2.
Wait, this article might be. what we need from haydenwinks.medium. It's got these graphs that shows where the running backs went. Oh, this is advanced rate, round of ADP.
I think running back 2, I think Best Ball Mania 2 is still going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Davis. This is the year that Mike Davis was a 5th round pick. He was pick 56.5. All right, and he was running back 24. Okay. All right, can you get up the running back 30 from this year? Like what selections running back 30? Okay.
Here, let me go to rankings.
Because I have running back 30 from 2021.
The running back 30 is Ramondre Stevenson at 95.7.
Okay. The running back 30 in Best Ball Mania 2 is at 77.4.
And that wasn't even, and that was after, if I remember correctly, that was after the ship chasing stream that changed everything.
I think it was. Yeah.
That was after the Bime for Gretsch ship chasing stream that basically, I mean, that was the stream that like kind of ruined this activity, if you think about it.
Well, so there's some differing opinions there. Do we want to look at running back 20?
Yes, running back 20. I bet this is actually going to be an even larger percentage discrepancy because the running back 20 is a 6th round pick, basically 60.8. I'm going to guess the running back 20 then was a 3rd round pick.
You're very close. It's 39.2. So that like kind of the 3-4.
I mean, that is percentage wise. That is insane.
That is crazy.
That is a huge strategy difference. Like night and day.
Do you want to do the running back 12?
Running back 12. This one, I mean, 33.4. The running back 12 then is going to be like 14.6.
It's 13.8.
Oh.
It's only 12 picks. So, there's like 12 running backs you got to fit in. We were putting like 3 other guys in there.
And to put this in perspective, this is not a different lifetime ago. This was 3 years ago.
That's 3 years ago. Yeah. It's crazy.
My God.
This was the whole thing. Remember when like running backs were the scarce ones? You're like, if I don't take Nick Chubb at 13.8, I literally won't have a running back.
Just dead. Yeah.
I'm just dead. I can't draft running backs.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can get the running back 12. And Breece Hall, as we know, he'll follow the 4th. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're getting like the 201 in the 4th round now, basically. I know it's not that simple. There's reasons we price these players individually, but it's still pretty wild.
You know what's funny is actually the dominance of running backs has made me more enforced in this idea because I do feel like you are like, this is something I've been toying with. Barkley could reproduce last season in terms of like raw statistical output and be like a shitty pick because you're pairing him with at best case scenario, you get like Drake London as your wide receiver 1 ADP wise. That's like your best case with where he goes right now. So
yeah. And more likely it's like T. Higgins.
So the projection pairing of, let's say you get Barkley's season, right? So you get 355 points. He just matches it. And then you get T. Higgins. What projects better? Justin Jefferson, Bucky Irving, or Saquon Barkley, T. Higgins? And it's like clearly Justin Jefferson, Bucky Irving.
Well, if you're telling me I get the Saquon season, I would just take that side. Yeah. Am I also getting the Jeffersons? You know what I mean? I think I would just take the Saquon and the bird in the hand of the.
I mean, Jefferson sucked last year and just like easily smashed. Jefferson had a terrible season for his NFL production.
Yeah.
And just 1,510. Like Jefferson fantasy managers were like tilting their faces off. And it
does feel like maybe Jefferson should just be the 102. But I don't know. I've been mixing them in a
he
little
plays
bit
in
more
a dome. And he plays in a dome.
The thing, I mean, when you go to the second round, it's not just that you can get Bucky, who I do like, but like,
I mean, you can
Trey
get Jonathan
McBride?
Taylor, dude. You can get
You can get Jonathan Taylor,
the guy you needed, last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and McBride, I love McBride. And so, and I'm thinking about that as like a turn. Like, you know, I'm taking 2 players at the next turn. So it's like, if I want McBride, that means I like have to take one of the receivers, you know. And
right.
What if you go what if you instead you go Jefferson, Bucky, Irving, McBride, or Jefferson, JT, Bucky, or Jefferson, JT, McBride? Like, those are sweet starts.
Those are sweet starts. And I do wonder if we will see a little bit of 2022ification of ADP, though. Like, I wonder if Bucky can be a 1-2 turn pick.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think
Kenyon Drake.
So.
Kenyon Drake was a 1-2 pick and never did what Bucky Irving did.
Kenyon Drake, I think, really was a 1-2. That was in Best Ball Mania 1. It was like him.
Can't remember if it was 1
Mixon
or 2, but
was
yes,
a first
he
rounder.
really was. Yeah.
Well, he's not even. It's definitely not 2 because he's not in the top 100. It looks like so. We learned our lesson there.
I mean, Kenyon Drake went from a round 1 pick to like out of football in like a quickness, dude. Like Kenyon Drake went in 2020. He got traded. So 2019 he gets traded to Arizona. He's out of football. He's not a starter anymore in 18 months. Yeah.
All right, a couple more ADP questions.
Yeah.
Well, one question and then a rant.
Mm-hmm.
The first wide receiver. There's 2 wide receivers tied with the exact same ADP. Again, there's 12 running backs with an ADP of 13.8 or higher. What is the ADP of this first wide receiver, which again is 2 wide receivers tied?
The ADP of the first wide receiver in Best Ball Mania 3?
Yeah, the first one off the board.
10.9.
11.1.
Yeah.
11.1 was the first time we even were considering a wide receiver.
Dude, maybe you could take, who would have even been then? 2022, was it CD?
I missed Tyreek. Tyreek was actually at 8.3. So it's the wide receiver 2. My bad.
It was Tyreek and who? Who was the wide receiver 2?
It was Tyreek, and then Adams and Diggs were tied.
Wow.
Behind him. But they were also tied with Cam Akers. So.
No, but that's funny because this must be early ADP. Because wasn't this the year he tore his Achilles?
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be early. Kelsey was going at 6.6. My rant would be that even in this previous environment where, you know, we couldn't be bothered to take a wide receiver until the 8th pick, and then wide receiver 2s at the 1-2 turn. Kelsey was going at pick 6.
And he smashed.
Yeah.
That was the year that ended up 2022 as the best year of his career.
But Bowers, who's basically Puka Nacua with tight end eligibility, can't be bothered until the second round.
I argued about this with Liam yesterday or 2 days ago for like 45 minutes.
He's against Bowers?
I wouldn't say he's against he's not like I want 0 of him, but he's like, well, dude, if you take Bowers and Jonathan Taylor, so you just lose.
What does that mean? I could use that argument on anyone.
Well, right.
I mean,
I think his argument. Bowers, his argument is like, just smash Tucker. Just get Tucker Kraft and Jake Ferguson. Jonnu.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I like Jonnu fine. Jake Ferguson's probably a little undervalued.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that we think tight ends deep every year, and then there's like 3 guys who matter at the position.
Right. It just Bowers. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not a total cheat code, but I think he's probably a cheat code.
This is basically Liam's point: is that you could be passing up on the legendary season of Barkley, like whoever, for 280 points from a tight end.
Okay.
Which I get, but I think it is. Well, what that is it's like not like player based analysis. It's like just treating Bowers like
right.
And I think Bowers is totally exceptional. Which is funny because that's the same argument of being like, oh, well, I don't want to take Jonnu because the tight end 7's always a bad bet. Not being like, oh, there's actually reasons that Jonnu is not the
but you have the
or whatever.
You do also have the structural stuff, which is like we've been pretty good at identifying when one of these guys is different. And Bowers, everything about me, he's like a top 3 tight end prospect of all time who just had the best rookie tight end season ever. So doesn't feel like you're going out on a limb to be like, this guy's different than the other tight ends, which is something we're usually pretty good at doing.
All right, now
most tight ends aren't weapons.
We have to decide: do we want to do a slappy draft? Do we, or we could save that for the last one because this is 149, so we could just do a normal. We could just do we'll do Puka here. Sure. Maybe we try and take like all rookies or something, or we just do for 150 could just be the slappiest possible draft.
I have this, and I think this was streamed because I had some people tagging me about like what I was doing in the draft and stuff. I think Tyler streamed this one, but I had the slappiest running back room you'll ever hear.
Slappiest running back room is Genty, Giddens, Harvey, probably Jordan James has to be included. What was it?
So Harvey, yes, but it was Hampton. So there's the Genty fill in. Hampton, Bashal Tootin.
Oh, of course.
RJ Harvey.
Yes.
And Damian Martinez. Now I've skipped
I've
the second running back that I selected for effect because I took Travis Etienne at 103, and then I took Trevor Etienne at 231.
Little Etienne.
The Etiennes are back, baby. 2025 is the year of the Etiennes. So but it's pretty. Obviously, I'm going to need this rookie class to live up to reputation, but actually, I went like very veteran heavy in the. I have a triple stack with the Bucks, Evans, Godwin, McMillan, and then I got Otten, so I squad stacked that. And then I did the De'Ami Brown, Gabe Davis, Parker Washington, and I have Luther Burden and Nico Collins and stuff. So the wide receivers are like strong, and I played it like safer. So I'm hoping maybe as a team this whole thing will come together. But it's the slappiest running back room I probably have.
This is true. Brashard is like infinitely more slappy than Jordan James. Jordan James is a little right wing slappy.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he right wing? I like
Jordan
James.
He's more film than
yeah.
Do you want A-Chain or do you want Lad?
What did we do in the first
JT?
I'm blanking. We took Puka.
We took Puka.
I'll do A-Chan. I think A-Chan's good.
Wow, very magnanimous of you to allow us to take a plotting fancy Nyheim Hines with our round 2 pick.
I do want to get some exposure to fancy Nyheim Hines, and it's after the line for me is once McCaffrey, Bowers, obviously Genty are gone, but I'll take him over Drake London even.
I actually think that is reasonable. I think it's reasonable to just say, look, man, your best case for A-Chain is that he just has a Derrick Henry season, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I just had a really hard time taking him over McCaffrey. Even like I know McCaffrey might be done, and it's a very risky pick. But if McCaffrey is McCaffrey, he's like 102.
If McCaffrey is McCaffrey, we're all gonna feel so insanely dumb for allowing Malik Neighbors, Christian McCaffrey pairings to exist.
It's
it's
wild.
Feel stupid. Yeah.
It does. A-Chan to me does feel a little like he could be anything, even Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
And you're taking him ahead of Christian McCaffrey. Like I'm pretty sure Christian McCaffrey can be Christian McCaffrey if he's healthy. I don't know if he's healthy or not, but I don't know.
It's
I'm not
just so
fading him.
funny that A-Chain went from being the slappiest possible pick each of the last 2 years. It was slappies only. Remember,
Slappies only, yeah.
remember Hayden tweeted like the most like visceral Devin A-Chain hate tweet about like how little he weighs. Like I don't remember. I wish I remember the exact wording, but it was like he was like putting this dude in a coffin, and like after the Broncos game, he like quote tweeted himself, and he was just like, "Whoa, buddy, never couldn't possibly have seen this coming," you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was slappies only for 2 years because he was a big slappy pick last year.
Oh yeah, because the slappy argument last year was, what if he actually is that good? And then you had the right wing. This is when I think of a right wing slappy, I think of this argument. Yeah, but if you take out his good games and his good runs, he was actually bad. You know, if
That's
you take
a
out
right
all
wing
his
slappy argument for sure.
if you take out all his 50-yard touchdowns, he actually only averaged 4.5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, exactly. that Mahomes Reddit thread has got to be the greatest example of this of all time. What year was that? It was like 2019 or something. The height of Mahomes, statistical greatness.
I don't even remember.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
No, I have no clue.
Someone did this with Mahomes, like early in his career.
If you take out all his touchdowns, he's actually shitty.
Yeah, and they were like, and he like kept going. He's like, let's make his pick.
You want Worthy, McLaurin, Adams, Kerrane?
I think I'd be okay with McLaurin here, who I don't normally take, but I have so much Worthy. I know you want to get your Chiefs, but
no. That's totally fine. Totally fine. I've seen this, that this is an anti-Chiefs thing that floats around, that actually if you just take away all of Mahomes' Super Bowls, like, because Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are his teammates, it's actually just not that good. He had the greatest coach, and he's great. It's the thing that they like, or that they hate about him, is the scramble plays. Like there's this like right wing slappy film analysis of, dude, actually this guy was wide open on this play that he scrambled around forever and then got the first down. He's an idiot for not just hitting this guy who was open.
I found the thread. It's from 6 years ago. So this is 2019.
Okay.
The title of the post is, after adjusting Patrick Mahomes' stats, removing outliers to project the future, he heavily regresses to around the level of 2018 Dak.
Classic. After adjusting Mahomes, he's actually bad.
He takes his touchdown rate and adjusts it to the league average. He takes his passer rating and adjusts it to the league average. He literally just takes all of his stats and adjusts them to the league average and then says he's league average. It's a beautiful thread.
That's so good. Yeah. Somehow that missed me. Somehow that
I can't believe it.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
You love this argument. You love this right wing slappy argument.
It would have just made me mad, but it is really funny. Wow. Roma Dunze getting pulled. I don't even hate it, honestly.
I've done this. I've done that with more. If I have more at that point, I'll just grab a Dunze and do the stack. And then the nice thing is that you'll get sniped on Caleb Williams a couple of rounds later.
Yeah. Do you want to take Daniels? You want to take wide receiver?
Baby.
You want to take running back?
Come on, Brees in the 4th round is a mistake.
No, Brees in the 4th is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
This is how I become right wing. You put Brees in the 4th until I start talking about how running backs are going too late. Once you get me talking about running backs are going too late.
Chase Brown scored like 17.5 points per game for 6 weeks and is a 4th round pick because they might take Brashard Smith.
Yeah. The thing is, though, it really would just be a sign of me getting old,
Yep. You're a dad. Yeah. You're a dad now. You're like, I don't know, man. Brees is starting to look pretty good.
Brees in the 4th round.
I got to be responsible with these picks.
This used to cost a 2nd rounder. Oh, damn! Wow.
It is 2023 deja vu all over again with Brees in the 4th.
It's wild.
Other than that, his backup is now a 21-year-old guy who can squat 700 pounds instead of Dalvin Cook, which is It's enough to make discerning individuals do a little wind horse. Not Kerrane, but me.
Not me. No, I would be more concerned with what this man runs, if he can like move laterally at all. I didn't know we were doing weightlifting competition drafts, but okay.
Now this is a very good point. Zach Moss is still technically on the Bengals depth chart. I mean, no one wants to acknowledge this right now.
That's so bullish for Brown. It's so bullish.
It is.
Like, yeah. He'd be like, can we like clone Zach Moss and get an RB3 who's also Zach Moss? Because anyone who's not a rookie running back that you're sharing the backfield with this year, that's good. It's good. Just less rookies, please.
Now, this is the exact type of stat that is true, but so fake that Laporta has better stats than Travis Kelce through 2 years. And then you just ask yourself, why'd you stop that cutoff at 2 years? Are there any specific injuries that Travis Kelce might have had coming into the NFL that would have been limiting Travis Kelce's performance? Maybe a microfracture surgery on his knee.
Didn't he miss his entire rookie year? Am I wrong about that?
Yes.
He played one game in his rookie year.
And famously, Kelce was also like not an adult heading into the NFL. Like there's the Travis Kelce clip of Andy Reid, who knew Jason Kelce, being like, is your brother a fuck up?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, he is, but he's gonna be okay. Kelce did literally need a chaperone. He did. He like actually literally did. Yeah. Wow, dude. Jane Daniels lasting to 48.
Damn.
That's
a fun start. Wow.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a wide receiver here. So whichever one. He did a bunch. He got in like a lot. He got suspended for one season at Cincinnati. Travis Kelce did.
Right.
All right. Wow, that's an early Travion.
I
want
think
to do Addison, Sutton?
Yeah, I'd do Sutton.
So the only thing about Sutton is then we got to be prepared to pull the trigger on Knicks probably at ADP, because otherwise Stafford is like our top quarterback.
Yeah,
because
that's
Jane
okay.
Daniels is gone. Okay.
We don't have to get like carried away.
No, we're gonna
before we do it.
We are gonna eat our vegetables in this draft, and then we're just gonna slap it up in 150.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look at this well-constructed team. Just chugging along.
Just eating our vegetables. This is a full chaperone draft, really.
Yeah, we have plenty. When we add all these rookies later, they'll have mentors and tutors. It'll go well.
How many people, if you ask them Terry McLaurin's age, how many people get it right?
I get it right.
What percentage of people?
Is he 30?
He's literally 30.
Okay. What percentage of people? I think most people would know if you said you can be off by a year in either direction. I think you'd have a really high percentage, like 75% of best ball slappies would correctly.
No, I think most people think he's like 26 for real.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because he obviously has played mostly for an anonymous team, and he was a 4-year player at Ohio State.
Right.
Not even a particularly good player at Ohio State, by the way.
It did cross my mind to guess 29, but I don't know. I've just drafted Terry too many times. I think he's much younger than that.
Running back. This is by ADP. What do you want to do?
We could go Debo, but we're not going to get Daniels, and so I don't necessarily want to do that.
I think actually we just take. Oh fuck! I don't know.
Judkins. We take Travis Hunter.
Too early for Hunter, I think. Well, maybe not. Honestly,
I don't think it is. Because
we're eating our vegetables right now. Although the vegetables pick would have been Camaro.
Right. No, yeah, I take Travis Hunter there sometimes now. It's not like a thing I'm doing, but there's like, oh, I'm not really that excited about anybody.
I'm
Let's take
actually
Hunter.
so mad looking at Terry McLaurin's college career right now. You know who
Dude, he didn't do anything.
absolutely dominated Terry McLaurin?
Was it Paris Campbell? Yeah.
Paris Campbell just absolutely put him in a locker, dude.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Such a weird
profile. I don't know if you could say bad quarterback play because his quarterback got drafted in the first round of the NFL draft.
Was he Haskins?
Haskins,
yeah.
You can say it, but the dude led college football in attempts, completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, yards per attempt, yards per game, and quarterback rating.
Yeah.
And he finished third in the Heisman.
There's a pretty high bar, I guess, for saying someone's bad in college. Like most players are not playing with a guy who can be a first round draft pick.
Like some guys had to play with Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. God. Quinn Ewers just ruined a generation of fantasy prospects.
Like a generation. Like to the point that we're still arguing about Isaiah Bond and Golden the way we argued about what's his name? About A.D. Mitchell and Worthy and Jatavian Sanders. Like we don't know any. I feel like we still don't know.
We don't know anything about these guys. We literally don't know if these players are good because of Quinn Ewers still.
Yeah. Yeah, like A.D. Mitchell, like who knows, dude?
Matthew Golden, I don't know. He could be really good.
I don't know. Bond. I mean, for all we know, Bond could be good.
I mean, sure.
He's probably not, but for all we know. I mean, Golden's probably not even good, but
right. I mean, Worthy's probably not even good, to be honest.
I mean, I think the evidence suggests that Worthy showed up not knowing how to play football in Kansas City.
I think got good in that 1 year.
No, I think literally the preponderance of evidence was that this guy did not understand anything about being a receiver when he got there.
This sounds maybe like a Sark issue at this point, right? Not a.
Well, Sark runs one of these, fake offenses, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of guys we don't know or any good.
Let's take a Ibuka, man.
Yeah, sure. Or is Hawkinson the more? I was going to say Hawkinson is the more vegetables pick and gives us.
I think Ibuka is more vegetables because we need a wide receiver 4.
Yeah, you're right, and I'm a little bit lighter on Ibuka, so.
When Golden goes and Hunter goes, and I can just take Ibuka without thinking about I should get some Golden before he rises and all that crap. I'm so happy. I'm honestly so happy when not Hunter because I like taking Hunter a lot, but when Golden goes, I get so happy I can just take Ibuka. Ibuka's a way better pick.
The official explanation for why we didn't stack was that we had to take Breece Hall in the 4th round, or Kerrane would have had to shut down his website.
That's right. Yeah, I had the button. I have a finger over the button.
And my explanation is I am so unused to clicking McLaurin in that spot that I didn't even know how to structure.
That is true. I also am unused to clicking McLaurin, so it didn't occur to me that we need to prioritize Daniels in the next round if he's there. And also, I don't know. The thing that could really bury me in the pre-draft stuff is if elite quarterback is just what you need. Because I am not drafting that way.
Yep. Yeah. If it's all Josh Allen has 17 rushing touchdowns and Jaden actually somehow gets better, then I'm just so buried, which is, and it's even funnier too, because I actually don't love the 4th round picks. I don't love Zay Flowers. I don't love Rome Odunze. I don't love Jameson Williams. So it's I'm even kind of I don't even love the guys I'm taking over them. There's probably a lesson in that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. It's not but there are guys Amari Hampton in the 4th round is crazy. He could easily be a 2nd round pick. Breece Hall, I don't expect to get a ton of CLV with, but I think can smash that ADP.
He'll get a little bit of CLV if the Jets just run back the exact same running back room.
He might, and also I think in the summer when people are oh yeah, I mean it's Breece's backfield, obviously. Why are you asking if it's not? That's
we
strange.
Can take Knicks.
Are you on the internet too much?
We now can take Knicks, or we could take Mahomes and backstack.
I'd rather take Knicks.
Okay. We can also backstack Knicks.
Yeah. Well, you can also, I mean, if you want to take some Chiefs, you know, we still can as a potential Week 17 correlation. We can try to bank that.
True. Although not feeling that great about the Chiefs having to try in Week 17 again. They were disastrously close to having the 1 seed locked up in Week 17 this last year.
Yeah. I don't know. I just every year I'm just gonna be like, they can't keep getting away with it.
They can't keep getting away with it until they just obviously keep getting away with it.
Until they easily get away with it. God.
Outside of the top 4 quarterbacks, who could you most realistically see finishing quarterback 1? I mean, Kyler
Fields.
for me. Oh, Fields.
Oh,
Kyler more likely.
I
for
like
me
your answer too.
He said a couple times this offseason, he's like, "Oh, dude, I was banged up. I just was not good. Like, I just wasn't running as much as I could ever wanted to."
Kyler's a better answer, and honestly, that's more how I'm drafting. I don't have a ton of Fields because I'm like, can we get through the draft and see if they don't take a second round quarterback? That'd be nice. But if they don't, I mean, Fields is way undervalued. You know, I don't want to be completely fading him because he's just a very like wide range of outcomes type of play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like Kyler a lot.
He was still, that's what he said, is he just didn't trust his knee 100%. And maybe he never will. You know, maybe that'll just be it. Although he did have that crazy 50-yard rushing touchdown against San Francisco where he started pointing and celebrating on like the 30-yard line, which was pretty cool. But yes, the reason why they did not have the 1 seed locked up on Christmas was that they lost the tiebreaker to the Bills. So it was effectively only a 1-game lead.
Right.
But if they had the tiebreaker over the Bills, like they won that Bills game and lost a different game, like they lost the Broncos game or something, it would have been rest.
Who's at the top of the sidekick here?
Shaheed. Mark Andrews. I don't love Andrews.
Yeah, I mean,
well, actually, no. I actually do like Andrews, but on this team where our stack stuff is limited, could do Kelsey, could do Mims.
Kelsey's fine if you want to do that.
Yeah, this is a good team to take Kelsey, since we're only taking old chaperone players.
Right.
Bo Nix fits. We should take Tyler Shuck on this team.
Is Brandon Whedon still in the player pool? How old is Brandon Whedon, do you think?
I bet Brandon Whedon, let's guess. I'm going to guess Brandon Whedon is 38 years old.
I'm going to guess he's like 43.
Brandon Whedon, age 41.
That's wild.
One of the most amazing times in NFL history. This guy, first round pick, brother.
At 27 years old.
And you have the same people who lived through that experience telling us Tyler Shuck, man.
Oh, he was 28
for the Browns. Yeah.
Now Tyler Shuck is, I think, 25. So that's 3 years.
Tyler Shuck is, but he will turn 26 before the season starts.
Right. But what's happened is people have started referring to him as 26. And I know it's going to happen is eventually we're going to just start saying 27. So I do want to correct the record. Currently today, he is 25. He'll turn 26 in the season.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a young 25 though. Only 900 dropbacks, I think.
Yeah, when you break all your bones, you're a young 25. That's famously how it works. Just shatter your bones year after year. It really is easy on the body.
It's really easy on the body. All right, Sidekick wants Shaheed or Mims. We could do Herbert and set up a back stack. Sure. Yeah. Say less. Wow. Yeah, we really are only taking the olds. Knicks, A-Chain, Brees, Judkins, Puka, McLaurin, Sutton, Igbuka, Hollywood Brown. This is such an olds team. It might be bad that Tyler Shuck couldn't make third team All ACC. Might be.
Yeah, doesn't seem good. Is that right? Was this his final year? He couldn't make third team All ACC.
I mean, dude, he
That's no
barely
good.
played. You know,
Well, he played this past year.
did he play the whole year though?
Let me see. He played 12 games this past year.
Yeah.
You're telling me he
See,
didn't make third team All ACC?
I'm just very. I mean, Louisville was not even good, dude. They were 9-4. Like he got dunked on by Kyle McCord.
Right.
Like, yeah. But some people still really want to make it happen. I have not watched Hayden and Josh's video on him yet. I'm wondering who took which side.
Oh, okay. I want to check that out. They had a debate.
Yeah. Yes. And you know who is very pro Jalen Milroe, Mr. Winks.
Interesting.
Very high on Milroe.
You have to assume that Josh was on pro Shuck. It's hard for me to believe the same man could be super high on Milroe and Shuck. You know.
Now, if your Tyler Shuck argument
I'm leaving the light on for both.
Well, if the Tyler Shuck argument is just like, you know what, you never win anything until you find a quarterback, so just take Tyler Shuck. Just like totally whatever. If there's enough traits there, just take him.
I'm downstream from that argument. My argument is, I mean, I'm not in charge of an NFL team, but if an NFL team takes a guy in the early second and clearly plans to start him by this time next year, we should not ignore his existence as a human. Like we should draft him at a certain point. And then you're going to be able to get him in like super flex leagues. You're going to be able to get him in like the third, fourth round. That doesn't make sense.
100%.
Try trading a late third round pick for a starting quarterback, any starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you get Russ. It's not, I don't know.
So brutal. All right. We're up. Sidekick wants us to just take Stafford.
No, let's push it. What are we doing? Running back? Let's tootin', baby. Yeah. We've earned it.
You know what? All right. Well, we ate enough vegetables to be able to afford one tootin'. Yeah, some people like Dylan Gabriel. I don't know. I mean, he's pretty accurate. He can move a little bit.
Dylan Gabriel. I like Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. What I like about Dylan Gabriel is that the thing, like, it's one thing. Like, the reason why you wouldn't be in on Gabriel is like very, very clear. He's really short and small, and he's probably too short and small, and so it's just not going to work. But if it does work, it's all of a sudden you have this guy who was like legitimately good his entire college career for a bunch of different. I think he played for 3 different teams and was good for all of them. He runs a little bit. He can operate an offense really effectively. It's a Russell Wilson type of play. You know, you're just hoping he can be kind of the next Russ. But I think his game's probably like a little closer to Purdy's or something. But anyway, it's just like, but it's binary to me. And like, why wouldn't you take a 4th or 5th round swing on that guy?
Especially if you're a team that just like needs a point guard.
Totally. Yeah. I think it's like the Dolphins or something. Even hitting on him as like your backup to Tua, you know, would be pretty sweet. Sidekick was right. We should have taken Stafford.
Well, we can just take Herbert.
Yeah, let's take Herbert. What can we do? Like, what are we gonna do? Take Mike Williams?
Yeah.
Just unstacked?
No. Conklin.
You can take Lawrence. You can backstack Lawrence really easily.
You want to do that?
Yeah. Because we have Strange. You
want to talk about 2 guys who are just so close to people deciding they don't believe anymore.
I'm pretty excited that people aren't excited about Trevor Lawrence this year.
Yeah.
Lawrence is one of the most obvious upside candidates out there. Like, he's former generational prospect.
You do the Jaguars stuff while I go pee real quick.
All right, here's the Jaguar stuff. Former generational prospect who has an absolutely horrific season under Urban Meyer, who was like literally checked out, delegated his entire offense to guys he later called idiots. And then his savior is Doug Peterson, who like we were never that high on as a coach. Doug Peterson was like knockoff Andy Reid, and wasn't anywhere close to, one of these guys are like, yeah, you worked for Andy Reid. You know who else worked for Andy Reid? All the dudes at the Bears, now I'm blanking on that coach. What was the coach there? Just absolutely terrible. Now we think he runs their offense. So yeah, Peterson, not that sharp compared to a bunch of the modern guys, but we know that now he's got a legit upgrade with Liam Cohen. And because Liam Cohen said, Duval, we're out.
Duval.
We're out because he's awkward.
We're out because they hired Shane Waldron as passing game coordinator.
That to me is Waldron. That's just like you have your network, and he's in the McVay network. That doesn't matter.
It's the same thing as hiring Freddie Kitchens as your assistant tight ends coach.
I bet you can go find on any of these staffs one like, oh no, kind of name on. I bet we could find one on Shanahan's staff, McVay's staff, LaFleur's staff. We can find a no name.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about Shane Waldron. Who's the guy? Who was the guy who ran the Trubisky Bears? That's what I was blanking on. Nagy. Yeah, thank you.
Who's now the offensive coordinator, Super Bowl champion offensive coordinator, and Super Bowl runner-up offensive coordinator, which I am worried about, frankly, and I think is a big possible explanation for why the Chiefs look so lifeless on offense now.
Yeah, I mean, Nagy stinks. But Reed's so good, you can look good if you work for Reed.
Yeah, Reed's great. You have Mahomes, you have Kelsey, you have those guys. I'm honestly, frankly, I am in more on Lawrence than I am on Herbert. I just have always found the Herbert slurping across the
slurping
to be a bit much.
It is. There is some slurping out there. That's a fair.
Dude,
that's honestly a fair characterization.
Okay. This is maybe Wicks, Iomanner, Leggett, Tillman.
We could take Tua as a third if you want.
No. Well, with A-Chain?
Yeah, with A-Chain.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Or do you want to try and do okay, I was gonna say we could try and do Penix, Pitts, but yeah, we'll do Tua. Yeah, we do. This is what I wanted to do, but we're gonna save this for the next one.
This isn't the slappy draft. Well,
yes, the kids. I think the kids call it glazing now. There's no more quarterback with 0 playoff wins who's been glazed more than Justin Herbert.
I understand that glazing is the slang, but slurping is so much funnier. It's way funnier.
It's way funnier.
Slurping is just so good. Slurping really gets at what we're doing
at what is happening.
What is happening, yeah.
You guys might be thinking in my head, well, Davis, you surely have to be lying. Surely Justin Herbert, who's on his second contract, has won a playoff game. And you would be wrong. You actually would be wrong. A 31-30 loss against the aforementioned Trevor Lawrence, in which they were leading. God, what were they leading at halftime in that game?
It was crazy. That game was nuts.
They were up 27-7 at halftime. Scored 3 points in the second half.
I'm pretty sure that was an FFPC playoff contest swing for us, where we had a bunch of Chargers and we had all the right pieces if they just could pull the game off, and then they blew it.
Michael, I bet you can figure out what slurping is all on your own.
Yeah, Michael,
you don't
I believe in you here. I think you can figure it out.
Of course I wouldn't go insanely talented, and I wouldn't also call them historically bad rosters. I think they're fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say historically bad rosters.
Do you want to just do Strange so we don't get sniped here?
Let's do Strange to prioritize, because if we don't get that correlation and the others,
then we're going for the $10 million man, De'Ami Brown at best.
Right. And we're reaching for Brown. Yeah.
Now, Herbert can obviously make like crazy good throws and stuff. I'm not saying, but just like after what year was that for Herbert? I want to say after year 2, the year he threw for 5,000 yards, there was I don't know, man. I'd probably take Herbert over Josh Allen. Like there was lots of that type stuff. Murphy's pissed off, dude. She does.
Yeah, he does. Herbert over Josh Allen. Give me a break.
Yeah,
He does not like it.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Herbert was like in the discussion with Mahomes. It was like Mahomes, Herbert, Allen.
Yes.
I get it though with Herbert. Like he is so fun when it's going well, and he's been high volume as well. Like when I like to look at stuff like, with EPA per play, I prefer to look at it per game because I like really want to like. I think it's part of the reason that Jimmy Garoppolo was able to trick the metric. It's like, yeah, per play he's really efficient, but like the whole offense is like, the Rube Goldberg machine just to get like a good play action pass off. Now he was pretty good on third down, which is so it's slightly unfair, but we know that the Shanahan entire offense is built to generate efficient passing at low volume. If you put them in a situation where they need to like trail and pass all the time, it doesn't work so well. So to me, like the guys who you can load up with pass volume, they really have a lot of value. And Herbert's one of those guys. So you got to give Herbert that. Like he's got multiple seasons where he was just like dropping back constantly and still playing efficiently, which passing is more efficient than running. So if you have a guy that can do that, that's awesome, which is Mahomes, which is Burrow, which is Allen, all those top guys you can do that with.
I mean, he's clearly very good and can do a lot of things and is very accurate and has great throws and stuff. But it's just like, I don't know, man. You're 27 years old. Let's win some games, man. Let's win some games.
Is he kind of the Rivers? He's sort of the Rivers of this era.
He's kind of the Rivers. Yeah. Just kind of happens to be in the NFL at the same time as dudes who are just like, I don't know if it's, they probably is. They are just, Burrow and Allen and Mahomes and Lamar are probably just a little better. Yeah.
They're all better. All those guys are better than Herbert, but Herbert's still really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate who they are. This feels like Io Manor for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe Besh, maybe Pierce. No, we'll do.
I'm still taking Io Manor. We should ask Dwayne about Io Manor. I'm curious what he thinks because
it's probably so hard to evaluate a Pac-12 wide receiver in this.
And the draft capital is weird. Yeah. Like, what do you project for the draft capital?
I actually am a quarterback win slappy. Truly, it's my most right wing slappy thing. I am kind of a quarterback win slappy.
Now, were you always a quarterback win slappy?
Yeah. Honestly,
okay.
The only guy who I've ever given true excuses for is Romo.
Right.
Where I'm just like, dude, what did you want him to do? Like what? Like what did you expect from this guy? So this is a great example of me being a quarterback win slappy. I'm taking Hurts, and I'm not even pausing, but probably a lot of NFL teams would tell you, oh, we just rather have Herbert because
teams would take Herbert. Teams would take Herbert. Open market contracts for all quarterbacks. He's getting more than Hurts. There's no, it's like really, I think there's very little question about that.
No debate about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Herbert would get more for sure.
Yeah. But
who would get the most? Would it be Allen or Mahomes? Open market contract.
Probably Burrow, actually. Honestly, the way people talk about Burrow.
That would be such a mistake. I love Burrow, but come on. It's got to be Allen or Mahomes. Or Lamar, but I think Lamar, the way Lamar's playing now is like a little harder to see 3-4 years from now.
Yeah.
But, doubting Lamar usually ends in tears.
Yeah. All right. We missed out on all the fun running backs. We got A-Chain, Brees.
I think I would say
pick here.
I'd say Henry or Gesicki here. Or is Ertz, if Ertz is there? would be kind of
Henry,
the way to go because we
Gesicki.
lost Fannin.
We lost Fannin. Yeah, let's do Gesicki. Gesicki's fun.
Sure.
He's not really that fun.
He's fine. I feel like with what Kelsey's strange, getting the third tight end is nice. Once Fannin's gone, I'm like, I don't want to take.
Burrow said they needed him back. He's part of the big three.
Right. He's part of the big three. Who, if it was everyone's contracts canceled, teams have to redo the salary cap isn't a consideration. Everyone's got it's just basically like which guys are going to get prioritized by the league for contracts. So you got to think like future production, not just current.
Yeah.
Who would be the most overpaid? Who would the league just like go nuts for that they really just have no rights?
Some 28-year-old edge rusher. I don't even
know. No. At quarterback.
Oh.
Like what quarterback would they be like, oh yeah, we can't.
Oh, Herbert.
We got to pay $1 million. You think Herbert would be the most overvalued?
Yeah. Don't you?
He's not the first. He didn't jump immediately to mind, but I don't think that's crazy or anything.
Because he'd get paid every nickel or dime that Mahomes or Allen got paid. He'd be like, give me that, and some team would do it.
I think it might be like Baker.
Yeah, so Baker's probably the real answer, but like I'm not legally allowed to say that. Baker would get crazy money if they did it right now, and he certainly is a tier down.
Right. I think it probably
Trevor also
would get
Trevor gets the same sort of excuses and stuff as Herbert did because he was a good prospect. People have been begging Trevor Lawrence to be good ever since he was a sophomore at Clemson.
At running back, do we still have any slappy picks left?
Oh yeah,
none. What about Brashard? Is Brashard Smith there?
Brashard Smith is gone, but we have Shipley, we have Jaden Blue, and then all the slappies. May would get paid a lot, actually.
May would get paid so much.
May would get
a lot of the tapey bow stuff.
All right, you want to do Shipley? You want to do Jaden Blue? You want to do Jarquez Hunter? Who do you want to do?
I like Shipley.
Little bit of Shipley chasing. 13 points his rookie year, and it all came on one run.
It's just like when you get this late in the rookie class, it's hard. It's like, okay, I get this guy ends up being the direct backup to Saquon Barkley. I would like bank that outcome instantly. And I think not that Shipley has that outcome locked up, but I think he's got a pretty good shot of it. So, yeah.
Tua would get paid like nothing on the open market. He'd be like the 22nd highest paid quarterback in this exercise.
Yeah, Tua would be completely overlooked. People don't want to mess with you. It's like you're telling me you have access to the entire quarterback pool and you're even talking to Tua. Like, what happened that you're now on the phone with Tua?
Yeah.
Like, who everyone was available, man.
You know who I would go into this exercise with being like my nerd auction draft strategy of trying to extract maximum value? It would be Purdy.
Purdy, that's a good one. I like that
one. You'd get Purdy for like the 17th most quarterback dollars as a 25, 26 or whatever, and he would just be good for you.
I'd go for Stroud.
Oh, yeah, I'd probably let you have that one.
See, but that's why. I think other people would obviously I'm checking in on the top guys. I'm going to be involved in those conversations. But if I miss out or if it looks like it might be going my way, I'm pivoting to Stroud, who I'm going to pay above market, but I'm actually getting upside with it. I'm capitalizing.
If I was trying to Moneyball, I would just do what I told the Colts to do. I just do Richardson, Fields, Milroe, and just say we're gonna figure it out. And I'll have
every quarterback is available.
The sickest. Yes, but I'll spend all my money on the offensive line.
Every quarterback is available, and you have a quarterback competition now.
Yeah,
just get a starter, brother.
I did.
I like Parker Washington there.
I microwaved a starter.
you could have
paid
Mahomes. You could have Allen.
No, because someone else gave Mahomes $90 million.
This really shows you the level of comfort, luxury that Chiefs fandom affords you. That your dream, other people's dream is to get Mahomes.
Is to get Mahomes.
Your dream is to have three
my dream
backups.
My dream is to have a quarterback room full of dudes who stink. You know?
Maybe you can dream are good. But dude, I don't know. What if they're good? Oh man.
Yeah, man. I am feeling I'm not feeling good about the Gabe Davis teams that I have. The Gabe Davis situation is not good.
Yeah. You're probably right. I've taken Diami and Gabe a couple times because I'm like, I think this role has value. I don't know. I mean, are they going to draft a wide receiver early? They have so many spots to fill. Like between Diami, Gabe, and Washington, there's got to be some production there. That's why I took them all in that one team. I'm like, this would actually be pretty helpful.
They the GM was just talking about the wide receiver room and just did not mention Gabe. Yeah, sadly, one of my early guys was Elijah Moore, and he has been squarely put in the dust bucket.
Yeah,
it's over for him. All right, we've got a 3-5-7-3. It's probably one more running back, one more wide receiver on this very adult team. What do you want to do? What's your with a running back room of A-Chain, Brees, Judkins, Tootin, Shipley? We could probably afford a slap.
Oh, right? We can slap. I think we can slap it up at however we want. Wide receiver, running back. Can I see click wide receiver? Is Torrey Horton available? This is one of my typical moves.
he just went.
Oh.
Super slap Torrey Horton. All right,
oh, what about Troy Franklin?
We
have Knicks.
Yeah, there you go. 53 points as a rookie for Troy Franklin. I do not have him. I do not have him ranked very high because he and Tez Johnson are going to be trying to fill in that Nepo baby role. And they're going to be splitting it.
I think that Troy Franklin is like the second coming of like Devery Henderson or
Robert Meacham.
But that is like literally like the term like better in best ball was created like for that type of receiver.
Lee Evans, you know?
Yeah. He's gonna
Robert Meacham had a 9 touchdown season once.
Troy Franklin's gonna have 4 touchdowns, but they're all gonna be like 30 plus yards. You know?
Robert Meacham had a 9 touchdown season on 64 targets. He got fewer targets than Reggie Bush. Same amount of targets as Pierre Thomas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then the other move would be to take Vele.
No.
Come on.
No.
Second year breakout, dude.
No. So you don't get a second year breakout when you're 30.
I knew that would tell you. Come on, man.
All right.
It's the Steve Buscemi second year breakout.
Imagine what Marvin Mims and Devon Vele, like, what do they talk about?
Let's take Jarquez Hunter. Travis Etienne.
I just took him with Peter. That's fine, though. All right.
Took him yesterday.
Final team. This was team 149. Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Devin A-Chain, Brees Hall, Quinshon Judkins, Bayshell Tootin, Will Shipley, Jarquez Hunter, Puka Nacua, Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Emeka Egbuka, Hollywood Brown, Alec Manor, Parker Washington, Troy Franklin, Travis Kelce, Brenton Strange, Mike Gesicki. That's a vegetable-ass team. What can you do? All right. Are you ready to really slap it up, Kerrane?
I'm ready. Never been more ready.
All right, guys. This is it. This is the last draft. We drafted the first draft as the NFC Conference Championship was happening. I went live. I went live for the very first one as Jane Daniels was taking the field. Jane Daniels was walking out. It's now April 18th.
It's honestly stressing me out, man. Why did they do that to us?
Why did they? I don't know why they did it.
Why couldn't they let us enjoy the games? I truly don't understand why they happen during the games. Like, we're going to draft them. We're going to get in these rooms. Let us watch football, man.
They're going to end up doing it. I'm not going to be surprised if they release Best Ball Mania as round 7 is happening or whatever.
Come on.
Now, I don't think they will, because there's going to be UDFAs that sign to meaningful teams that they want to put in the database.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you're right.
So the theme for this final team, I mean, we are gonna slap it up.
We're slapping.
This is gonna be. I'm hoping that we get the correct draft slot to go full slappy. But yeah, Numi did say Monday, so it is gonna be Monday.
Thank you, Numi. Numi. Oh.
Honestly, that's more for them than it is
good.
For us.
It can be good. It can be for all of us. It can be for all of us. Let's have a weekend,
now, This is so not true, because the first 7 is a good spot to slap it up. You are gonna get crazy ADP value, CLV on day 1 of the contest.
I think it's worth doing a few day 1 for sure. Shortly after that, I think you kind of want to.
Yeah, once the crazy values are gone, like the example I always think of is Sam Laporta was a round 18 pick his rookie year for the first day of the contest. But then once that gets fixed, then sure, you can settle down. You could chill out. Big board, 150 of 150. The slap. That's all we need to know. So what do you think? We take Genty at 7? Is that the slappiest possible thing?
Oh yeah, dude, that is delightfully slappy.
Genty, I mean, the perfect would be Genty Bowers, but they're probably not going to let us get away with that one. Yes. Sorry, Tyler. I was talking to Peter. My man gifted 5 Membies because he was here to see the most insignificant record in best ball streaming history broken. As Peter noted, not one person who has ever streamed all 150 of anything has said it was a good idea afterward.
And yet, people keep trying it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, granted, they sniped us on Genty, dude.
Well, yeah. It's I think we take Bowers, right?
I think we take Bowers, Neighbors, or Thomas. Those are the slappy picks available.
You know what? Thomas is more structurally slappy, and there would be a chance that we would get Bowers. Guy whose literal underdog username is ADP. Better do it. RJ Harvey league winner. We'll see, Nick. Yeah,
I like
best
RJ
balls,
Harvey.
The real 150 drafts we streamed was the friends we made along the way. At the end of the day, we had a good time this spring. And I'll remember, when we're streaming on August 14th and there are 700 people watching live and they're asking me who RJ Harvey is, I'm going to remember everyone who was here when we were arguing about Harold Mannon's duck feet, There's just no other way. Getting sniped on Genty at the 1.7.
It's crazy. It's crazy. In your final draft too. Like, it's not like, oh, I'll get him next. I'll just do this next. No, this is it.
Clay.
Wow.
Double salute, bro. 3 flag plans for BBM day 1. RJ Harvey when he's a 3rd round pick. I don't know. Probably Milroe. If Milroe is a 1st round pick, I'm just gonna go in with him at like default like 117 ADP or whatever. Like I'm just gonna be like I'm jamming the button.
I would say, wait, can you refresh the sidekick? The thing's good.
Oh yes,
The little deal.
there we go.
So okay, we lost. Who's? I guess Achan's fairly slappy, but he's kind of right wing slappy now.
Trey McBride.
Oh,
McBride was the only
good.
way to slap there.
So good. That is
clearly look, if we're slapping, like, look, I like Devin Achane as much as the next guy, but Achane is firmly out of slap range.
Well, that's true. McConkey is somewhat slappy. We could have done him. But I like McBride call.
I don't know how slappy can a white slot receiver be.
2nd year guy, you know.
2nd year, yeah. Achane is in his post slappy era.
He is. That's true. I agree. All right. Flag plants. Omari and Hampton.
Good one. How about
time of the tournament? He's not like in the 3rd.
Travis Hunter, pick 2, Cleveland Browns.
I like that.
He's a wide receiver. He says, I can't wait to catch passes from Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. Really,
I like that
good.
a lot.
Yeah.
I would say I would put Fields on the list as someone who, if they don't draft a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, and they're unlikely to do it 1st round. So I really mean that 2nd round.
Will Howard is the
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I think he could rise so much, and I haven't been prioritizing him so far, but he's someone where you take the floor and raise it, and you're like, oh, this dude's.
We are 9 months removed from Fields being the quarterback 6 or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he could be like a 16th round pick. He could be in the Richardson zone because they draft someone. It's like he might not play by the end of the year.
Either way, I think either way, I'm slapping. Right. I think they take Tyler Shuck, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have infinite Justin Fields. I mean, look, if we're slapping, it's got to be worthy, right?
Well, Harrison, I do think we're doing stacks, right? Slappy's like stacks. I agree that Worthy's slappier on his own.
I mean, frankly, it's hard for any Ohio State player to be truly slappy because the right wing slappy echo chamber are all Ohio State fans.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Maybe Worthy comes back to us. You never know. You never know if the room will give it to us. Every
I
once
do
in
like
a while.
Walter's comment here. Either way, I'm slapping should be added to the intro.
That's true. Either way,
I'm
slapping it up. Yeah.
You were so excited. You were very excited to slap.
I mean, taking a 2nd year wide receiver who basically did not meet a single expectation as a rookie, 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. It's pretty slappy to take that guy at 31 overall.
It's very, very slappy to take him at 31 overall. I agree.
Now, 4th round slappy picks, kind of hard. You kind of run. I mean, Chase Brown is pretty. I mean,
Chase Brown and very on brand.
Chase Brown and Devin Achane are running back picks for people who don't like drafting running backs, right? I mean, that's what they are.
Right.
Yeah.
And Hampton. I'd put Hampton there.
I think Hampton might have drifted into right wing slap territory.
Not yet, brother. Wait until after the draft. Then we'll talk about him being right wing slappy.
Well, it's just like
you've
gotten these idiotic takes of, actually, I think Genty and Hampton are the same tier of player.
Well, yeah, that's dumb.
There's never been a harder player authored bar than Ashton Genty's Players Tribune, where he said called tackle football, so why don't you draft players who can't be tackled? That is just such a bar. You got to be excited for Genty. Yes, there is going to be a round 1 ship chasing stream.
Yep.
Big one, lots of guests. I'm not going to be on the entire time because I've got a welcome dinner for a wedding I have to go to that night, but I will be there for the Chiefs pick. Hopefully it's a fun player. It's not going to be a fun player. It's probably going to be an interior defensive lineman. I'll tell you what, one thing we're not going to do in this draft, we're not going to take Cortland Sutton. Could take probably a rookie tight end as our second tight end. I don't know. What do you do for a slappy pick in the 5th round? It's not a very slappy round.
It's not very slappy. Tat McMillan's gone. It's hard to slap. Waddle's somewhat slappy.
I was going to say Waddle is at this stage of his career slaps only. There's no person who has not slapped the journey.
Travion Henderson is pretty slappy.
Travion Henderson is pretty slappy.
And he won't come back. I'm inclined to say him. And then we can slap it up in the 6th easily. Got to do a rookie running back as your RB2. I mean,
that's
you're not slapping if you're not doing that.
Yeah, you're not. If your running back 2 already has an assigned team in the big board, you might not be a slap. If your running back 2 has a headshot, you're not slapping.
If there's no chance your running back 2 is Brian Robinson's backup, you're not slapping.
You're not slapping. The running back I want Kansas City to take is Brashard Smith.
Ooh. Oh man, that'd be so fun.
I have no idea where this term slappy originated. I know what it means and it's been around forever, but I don't think I could state when it started. It's not specific to like this industry. Like it exists in the world.
Right. I'm not sure. It does remind me, I wanted to run this by you, and Artillery Frost, if he's here, with the chaperone. I was talking with Bime4, and we were kind of riffing on that, joking around, and we were talking about, if you have an expensive chaperone, should we call that no pair?
No pair. Yeah. Mike Evans. Mike Evans
is an au pair. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, Mike Evans. he's an au pair.
Yeah, he is. Zay Flowers is Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is an au pair.
Calvin Ridley is a bear. Yeah, although it's getting a little bit. He's not quite as expensive. Yeah, he's like through a program where they're like it's like
59 here
in training.
He went pick 59 here. There's the price.
That's true.
Price went up ever since what's his name? Cam Ward. Ward said Traylon Burks is the 4th best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I know. I had a guy messaging me saying he's starting to take Burks. I was like, let's not go that far, man. I think Cam Ward is a nice guy. That's how I read that.
Yeah, 100%. Most slap is Jennings slappy or is Jennings right wing slappy?
It's Hunter, man. Hunter is the way to slap it up.
He's not going to come back to us.
He's not coming.
He win already.
He's not even here. Wow. I'm shocked. Okay, what do we do? I don't know what to do.
Pearsall
is so slappy.
Pearsall ahead of ADP is very slappy.
With no reason to take him. Like Jennings is on the board. Like there's just absolutely
we got outslapped. He went pick 56.
Dude. Well done.
And you know what? Not even to a pure slap guy because he took this guy might be
this is pretty slappy. That's pretty slappy team.
I thought he was on the Alvin Kamara Joe Mixon drafted team. Sub-slapped. I don't think Jennings is the worst pick on the board. I think there are lots of ways that Jennings can pay off.
I don't really get why you would say that. I mean, he's not an amazing pick, but like he's a really good bet for early season production because you got IU coming back from the injury, and he was pretty good last year.
He was pretty good. Yeah.
And you have Debo gone. You have Pearsall trying to step up into a bigger role. We don't know how that's going to go. There's a chance that like Jennings is kind of like just safely projecting like really well each week.
Really well. Yeah.
Can't you see that? Like he's just like I don't know, like in like let's say like 6,000 in DK salary, and we're just like, I mean, you can count on him to deliver.
I can see him just being a 7.2 targets per game, 9 touchdowns.
Right.
Just like totally reliable, consistent guy.
Yeah, and it starts right away. It starts right out of the gate.
Yeah. And I'm famously not an Ayuk person. And I really didn't even think Pearsall was a good prospect, honestly. I thought Pearsall was like a bad prospect, actually. So
he was outside the draft capital, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I was willing to follow it. I was willing to bet on him because of the draft capital, but like I was surprised he went first round.
He's like Tyler Shuck's age.
Yeah, that's true. He's Devon Vele's age, I believe.
Jennings is Ayuk's chaperones. Jennings will for sure not be 3 rounds more expensive next year. No chance of that. 0% probability of that. So I guess it's more likely
that's where
cheaper.
What would
he have
on
to
this
do,
offense?
Dude?
Like
he'd have to go so nuclear.
No, he's just like the second coming of Robert Woods.
I guess, and they are very thirsty out here. All right, we're gonna have a hard time slapping this pick.
Ibuka.
Ibuka is not a slappy pick.
Really?
Igbuka's a rookie wide receiver for people who don't like taking rookie wide receivers.
I just think he's a really good pick, but we can take Reed. Right. Is Reed still slappy?
Yeah,
I mean, he's a rookie receiver.
Well, it's a rookie receiver. It's at the end of the day, it's a rookie receiver. At the end of the day, yeah. Igbuka is more slappy than the other options. That's true.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Jennings is like an age 27 breakout in a fake system. Like the Shanahan offense is not real. Like there is every bit of chance that Juwan Jennings turns back into who he was every other year of his career. Before last season, it's actually very funny. I should pull this up. Juwan Jennings' stats before 2024. He had like 70 career receptions for 900 yards and 7 touchdowns before last season. Like he was just a nothing.
Right. But he was in a situation that we would always talk about was really crowded for the guys that we liked. They're like, there's not enough targets to go around here between stars.
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings, counterpoint, he's coming off in his 4th season, is coming off 2.26 yards per route run. He drew over 100 targets. And he now is like pretty clearly the wide receiver 1 on his team. That's not worth a 6th round pick.
I take him a ton, but what are you gonna do? He has a lot of the markings of a bad pick.
Yeah.
Nothing more slappy than still believing in Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray double stack is about as slappy as you'll find. Kyler Murray, where you reach on both of his stacking partners ahead of ADP and then lock him up in the 8th.
Kyler Murray, who hasn't had like an elite fantasy season since 2020, I think was the last time he smashed. Kyler, last time has he ever played a playoff game?
Of course, yeah. I think they lost to the Rams.
Yes, they lost 34-11. Kyler completed 55% of his passes for 2 interceptions, a 1.38 adjusted yards per attempt.
Oof. Gotta stack him up. Give me a double. How many weapons? He can't support one weapon in the 3rd round. That's right. He can support 2.
He can support 2. Yeah. Which is just an example of how biased and non-linear my opinions on quarterbacks will be, because I will disparage Justin Herbert all day long and then be like, yeah, but Kyler, man, come on. He's fine. He's going to figure it out. He's only 29.
Vaporware says in the 30s, slappy became slang for slap happy, referring to someone who's carefree or punch drunk. Wow. Look at that.
All right. I think that sounds about right. Sure. But it's been a gambling term for it.
Wait, he cited Google, which we know makes things
oh
up now.
no. Oh, that was Google AI.
On.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
No good. Cam
It's actually
Scattaboo
from like the 1800s.
Cam Scattaboo pick 98. That's pretty slappy, brother.
We're getting out slapped left and right here.
We are. It's everyone's
right.
Everyone's loosening. Everyone's loosening their ties. And putting their feet up.
Let's check in on our Travis Hunter slappy here, because he went Jaden Reed, Tyler Warren. I mean, this team's gotta be very slappy.
CD, A-Chain, Hampton, Dan. Yeah, he's slapping it up. He's slapping it up.
My God. It's hard to slap in here. Everyone's slapping.
The least slappy pick imaginable would be Darnell Mooney right here.
Darnell Mooney, I knew.
That would be like just like having a come to Jesus moment of just being like, wow, I've been down a wrong path. I mean, I think Fields is clearly the slap play here.
Slappy, dude.
Yeah,
I love that one.
Yeah, Fields ahead of ADP before Jackson Dart goes to the Jets at pick 7 or whatever.
Yeah. Unstacked. Just like no reason to take Fields. You just slapping too hard. It's perfect.
Pat did not win BBM last year or the year before. He won it the year before that, Connor.
Yeah.
That's why all the references to him being the $2 million man.
They just thought you really liked me.
You just thought I really liked him. I man, are we doing the 4% Mooney blankets? I don't think so, man.
I think it's okay. I mean, it's okay in the same tier as like a Hollywood Brown. If you need the wide receiver 4 or 5 in that range, I think it's fine.
See, I'm such a slap that I would just rather take Shaheed.
Before the Carr stuff.
He got Google AI'd. Connor got Google AI'd.
Yeah, dude.
I
knew it.
You got Google AI'd.
Oh, dude.
Who is the biggest slap pick? I mean, it's Bashal Tootin, and it's not even close.
Bashal Tootin is
running back 39.
Easily the biggest slap pick. He's probably going to be a 5th round pick. It is a slappy psyop that won. And which I'm a part of. I think that ceiling's so high, I'm willing to take the risk. But the potential for us to look absurd after the draft is off the charts with Tootin.
100%. All right. There are many slap picks available to us that are actually like these are Rashid Shaheed, Rashad Bateman, Marvin Mims are like the 4 horsemen of the slap apocalypse. I think we do Shaheed, and we set up the Milrow. Milrow goes to the Saints.
I'm in.
Yeah. Shaheed, an injured 176-pound wide receiver. Round of 10. Do it.
Yeah. The Cooter Doodles made a meme. It's pretty slappy.
Anthony, it has been a fun run. I also cannot wait for the real draft. Like, it's so funny. Like, I'm doing all this. We're all done. And like, I'm going to take a rest for about 4 days.
Hope you have a good weekend.
Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, I streamed all spring just to set myself up for being all right, God. Dude, the golden 3's out. Time to fire her up.
we're all, it's like we're showing up for this party. We're all like, all right, let's go. It's time for BBM. And Davis is like, oh God, I had such a night last night.
I'm so tired. What happened?
What happened, man? I just finished streaming 150 of these.
I already have $500 on Bayshell Tootin futures.
Davis keeps talking about his exposures. The draft haven't even started yet. What's going on?
We don't even have player IDs yet. What do you mean?
Oh my god.
So this, by the way, is where we can just start taking whoever we want if we want to just do the full slap team, because there's just no reason for Tank Bigsby or Brian Robinson Jr. to be on this team at all.
No.
And we've already got, so we have McBride, so we could do a 2 tight end team. We did get outslapped to Loveland. So I think there is. Are you fucking kidding me?
Did
Who took
Tootin
Tootin? Who
That's
took
what
him?
I was. Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to pivot off that. That was such a perfect pick. What about Benson? Benson is pretty slappy.
nah, Slappy is taking DJ Giddens 50 spots ahead of ADP.
I mean, I have no argument there.
That's the only way. If people are snapping off Bayshell Tootin at 124, I mean, you gotta defend your big blind. You know, you can't just like if someone's gonna raise you, I'm gonna re-raise you. You know, I'm not gonna allow myself to be had like that.
I love it. The Benson pick, by the way, is because we have Kyler. It's to continue the slappy Cardinal stack. We got a new Benson in the chat, so
I am starting to get bad vibes on Benson. There was Kyler was talking about Scattaboo yesterday.
Really? What did he say?
Or maybe 2 days ago. Oh yeah, he's all around. You know, like he's a football player. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, does not really mean anything because Scattaboo is from Arizona State. Like they probably share practice. I think they do share practice facilities, Arizona State and the Cardinals. Yeah. There's another very obvious slappy play coming up for us, but I'm not going to say it before we get on the clock because
we have some real slappies in here. You can't be giving away what we're going to do.
Yeah, he said Scat's a good football player and he wants to play with good football players. Defending the big blind too wide is a major league. In tournaments, it's more slappy not to defend the big blind. I agree, and that's what we're in. We're in a tournament right now. We're playing for our tournament lives, and I am going to defend my slap blind. I'm not gonna let these guys get to me. They took Travis Hunter at 56. They took Tootin at 124.
They took Trey Harris. They just took Trey Harris at 1. Oh, that's not that far ahead. Never mind. It's still quite slappy, but.
And we have all of our positional stuff. All right, we got to do RJ Harvey here.
What about? Do we have 2 quarterbacks? Oh, we do. Okay, yeah. Let's take Harvey.
They're Justin Fields, dude.
Fields. When you have Thomas and don't need to reach on him. Is so slappy. Like there's absolutely no reason for you to take Fields.
None. If you think about it, though,
dude. This guy's completely outslapping us. He just took Jackson Dart.
As someone literally Nick just typed Dart, no longer attending the draft.
I love this guy. What username is this? G509? Who's that GS09? I can't make it out.
GSG9.
GSG9. Up. Time for reading glasses for old Kerrane here.
Yeah. Now I do think he is going to go in the first round, but it is funny.
Yeah.
Might
be longer for weight or something.
The big upset is going to be when Milroe goes in the first round.
Dude, I have so many things to rethink if he goes in the first round because we're going to like really need to like flush out a bunch of dumb thoughts that are about things that will then have been proven wrong. Like I'm like Milrow. Oh, he's not gonna be a first round pick, and kind of thinking through his range of outcome. I'm gonna have to like immediately adjust, right? Be like, he was a first round pick. You know, his range of outcomes now shifted way up. His floor might be way higher. You know, depending on what the competition is, like he might be like basically, you know, a very, very strong favorite to play by the end of the season. All that stuff. And then there's
I
gonna be
do
all
just
these
want to point
veterans and
out
everything.
Brashard Smith just went 147. So we could if there is a slappy player, like you gotta get him because he's gonna go.
Okay,
now,
what about
and you know who else is gone? The slappy king of wide receivers.
I think we go Jalen Noel here.
Good with that. The slappy king, Dontavian Wicks, just got selected. So couldn't even take and I think he even went earlier. All right, we will take Jalen Noel. You're right. Slappy construction demands multiple bumblebee wide receivers.
Yeah.
Dontavian Wicks went 143 in this draft. This is this might be the most plus EV big board draft of all time for the people who are drafting. Yeah, for the people who are drafting seriously.
I love this room, man. The people in this room that are slapping it up with us, I'm so grateful. This is so fun. Thanks for slapping it up.
The dude who bought the ADP dip on Tajay Spears.
How are we possibly going to beat him?
Yeah, I hope you're proud of yourself.
I'm not even going to like draft my remaining big board teams because someone got such a deal on Spears. There's no point.
Now the joke will really be on me when this draft gets canceled. When this goes through Underdog's system, and they're like, "Oh shit, we can't allow this."
Here's what I want from Underdog. If you're gonna throw this draft out, you have to tell us which team triggered it. I need to know which team got a little too slappy.
No,
I feel like
literally
on the rails here.
You know what? I'm literally gonna tell Numi, please don't throw this one out. Because we are all taking this seriously. Please do not, because I'm literally getting done with this. I'm going to go get in the car. I'm going to the lake. I'm not going to be able to stream another one. Like, it's going to be full.
I love preemptively trying to be like, hey, I know this one's going to look weird, but I just want you to know that we really were trying our best.
We were really trying. This was a serious draft. I think actually, a couple of these teams auto drafting, I think, is going to save us because it's going to keep anyone from getting too much ADP value.
Right. That's good.
Now there's one tight end who absolutely has to be on this team.
I think we just do it here, man. I just think we do it. I'm sick of getting slapped around.
And in fact, there is a chance. There's just a chance that the guy who's been slapping it up harder just does it here. And
100%.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
This would have been the worst possible thing that happened to this draft.
We need to have you cannot. It is irresponsible to try to draft a slappy draft and not get a guy who's duck-footed. You have to have a duck-footed 50% dominator rating.
You gotta have a guy whose feet point directly out as he's running.
I've heard. I was listening to Robert Mays talk about him, and he was just like befuddled. He's just like, I've never seen a guy, because he's like, the thing about him is when he's up to speed, he can change directions very fluidly, but from a standstill, he like cannot change direction. He's like, I've literally never analyzed a player with movement skills like this, but what if that could work? And you know what? You're usually up to speed when you catch the ball, and he's incredible after the catch. His production. I think these duck-footedness might be a sneaky advantage for what we like, which is
people are saying that's the new meta. They're saying that
the new
actually
meta is pro duckfoot.
No, they're saying that that duckfoot people now are going to actually be encouraged to play tight end. They're saying that like doctors are going to be like, have you ever considered football? Have you ever considered organized tackle football?
Doctor, this is a 75-year-old woman.
It's a unique trait. It gives you incredible ability to change direction at high speed. Now,
all right, let's do it.
Who's more slappy as a third quarterback, Richardson or Milroe?
Milroe, but I also think we should stack Braylon Allen with Justin Fields for ultimate slap. Correct.
Yeah, that is. I mean, nothing's ever been.
The sidekick thinks it's a good idea too.
Well, the sidekick has my rankings in.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So it's
the sidekick as well.
It's a little drunk.
Okay, good. It is slap happy, you might say.
Yeah. Now, if we don't get Milroe, we might have a tough time. Because there is no slappy third quarterback after that.
Dart's gone. Yeah.
Is taking Aaron Rodgers, who said, I'm attached to nothing. What did he say? I'm attached to nothing, yet open to everything.
God. Could you imagine being like stuck somewhere?
Joe Milton.
Joe Milton is pretty slappy.
Or Jameis or Flacco. That's pretty bad. Yeah. No thanks to Aaron Rodgers for I'm not ending with Shuck, I tell you that much.
No, that's right wing slappy.
Yeah. Now, for it to be the perfect encapsulation of best ball spring, I should have done Fields, Richardson, Milroe.
That's true, but Kyler's kind of the expensive version.
Kyler is the Charizard.
Yeah, I mean, I think doing a Kyler double is very defensively slappy. There's no reason that we should expect that to pay off, and here we are. Here we are, just hoping for the best.
Yeah, I know for a fact that if I went in my vault of teams, I would find Anthony Richardson double stacks with like Josh Downs and AD Mitchell. Like I know for a fact
honestly think if you're gonna do it, you should like he's easy enough to double stack. Just do it.
Yeah,
you're saying it works, so say it works.
Kyler is the chaperone in this instance.
Yeah,
of that room. Now, how down bad would you have to be to take Ewers?
So down bad.
You'd have to be insanely down bad.
Do you want to just get the slap taken care of here?
Yes. Yeah. Like, what are we going to do? Take Brenton Strange? That's not even.
Yeah.
He's not even in the slap averse.
Dude, Tez Johnson. Did he just take Tez Johnson? He just took Tez Johnson, brother.
Dude, we're getting out slapped.
Take it easy, man. Do not let this draft get.
But then he takes Tyler Algier and Romeo Dubs. That's not very slappy, dude.
Well, we needed him to do that to keep the draft from getting kicked out.
Yeah, I mean that is just, that's just taking Romeo Dubs is just like taking your multivitamin,
Yeah, once you take Tez Johnson, though, that's like 1,000 slap points. So like
it is insane. Yeah,
you could have gone robust running back to this point, and then take Tez Johnson in the 14th, still slappy. 16th, I guess. Is Tutu Atwell? Does he even fit this definition anymore? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's fake slappy. He's like, oh, Tutu, like this is a slappy pick. Like, no, you're shooting for a veteran spike week. He's like slappy.
He's Darius Slayton. He's West Coast Darius Slayton.
He's West Coast Darius Slayton. Yeah, he's really MVS. It's MVS.
Now peak slap era for Tutu was having 20% of him the year that Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams broke fantasy.
You got to take him over Puka if you want to slap with Tutu. That's how.
Don't ever question my credentials about Tutu Atwell ever again. Now, Nick Nash is a 17th round pick.
Wow.
I'm in awe. All right. I mean, we could take anyone. We truly at this point, Kerrane.
Let me see the wide receiver ADP.
Wide receiver ADP.
Oh man, it's the slappy picks are picked over. I don't know. No one's jumping out.
Savion.
Savion is gross.
dude, he's a converted. He played running back, dude.
Oh, that's too slappy. That's too slappy.
Our final pick is predestined, of course.
Okay, so we have one running back in the 20th.
Yeah,
so 19th if we want to lock him up.
If we want to lock him up, we can take another tight end if we want. We don't need to. We could take 2 more Bumblebee running backs. There's really no.
Let me see the Bumblebees. Who do we
got? Rondell might need to make an appearance. If we're talking about Hall of Fame slap players. I mean, there are infinite slappy.
Yeah.
Running. I mean, we got
Sean Tucker. I would throw out there as a potential slap pick.
We got Kalel Mullings. You know, we got Donovan Edwards.
I think he goes undrafted.
Yeah,
I was pretty into Mullings early, but I don't think it's happening.
I mean, dude, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Anytime a hyphen gets involved in a rookie,
he's right wing slappy.
Confident. Is he?
I think so. He didn't have any production at all. Yeah. It's Shrine Bowl based. Shrine Bowl is about as right wing as it gets.
Now, that's true. Now, to be fair, it was he only got his production limited because the NCAA told him.
Yeah, but it was like his 4th or 5th year. Yeah, it was because he needed that extra year eligibility. So he was
now it's pretty slappy to draft guys who went to like directional Arizona schools
and then didn't do anything.
Southern Arizona State.
Yeah. But dude, he's shifty as hell on film. Got to take him.
Now, sadly, Keenan Allen, he's actually now not really slappy because he's like expected to be like a great pass blocker.
Yeah, he's not very slappy.
Yeah. Can you think of any other slappy wide receivers? Horton already went.
Horton's gone. No, let's look at running backs.
Jaden Blue.
Jaden Blue is pretty slappy.
Yeah,
he's fast. He's old school slappy.
Old school. Yeah, just sort by 40.
Sort by 40 slappy.
Sort by 40 and draft. Yeah. Yeah, this draft actually went so sloppy that the last round.
Dude,
Jaden Blue is not right wing slappy.
I don't think he's right wing slappy. I think that there's right wing interest in Jaden Blue, but it's like one of those. It's kind of like the right wing interest in weed now. You know, like it doesn't make weed right wing slappy. It's just
slappy.
People on the right now smoke weed. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's Isaac Tesla is another sort by 40. Yeah, Jaden Blue is fiercely independent. I think that.
Yeah, I think he's just I would say he's still a true left of center slappy.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe he's independent.
I'm trying to think of the slappiest wide receiver name I can pull now that Nick Nash is off the board. Ricky White.
Ricky White is pretty slappy.
Did you know he led? Did you know he led college football in punt blocks?
I actually didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, dude, he had 4 punt blocks. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Traylon Burks.
Traylon Burks is pretty slappy. Anybody? Ty Felton. Ricky White is pretty slappy.
Yeah.
You're not going I don't think we're
Rondale is way slappier.
Yeah, but it's up to you. It's up to you. It's your final draft.
I found Kerrane's line. Guys, I found the line to which Kerrane was willing to go. He could not get to Rondale Moore after the subterranean.
Give me the UDFA wide receiver, leg. Please. It's too far.
He said, I'll do anything. I'll do anything for slap, but I won't do that. I won't. You won't get me. You won't get me.
We can do it if you want to do Rondale Moore. I'll
I literally do not know who Quentin Skinner is.
Me neither.
You know what? Nothing could be slappier than buying on.
No, don't do it. Don't take Jalen Polk. No, that's gonna bum me out.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Take Rondale Moore. That's
Rondale Subterranean Field Moore.
Let's go, Rondale Moore.
The ultimate
subterranean
test,
field.
The ultimate. You know what? Skinner was on Kansas. You're right.
You know what? I struggled a little bit, but then I gave myself a little slap. Got myself on board. Come on, wake up. You can do it. I got there.
Aeneas Smith, Chad Candles, who is a good friend of the program, had like bags and bags of Aeneas Smith. So every Aeneas Smith update that I would get last year, of which there were frequent, I would just think of him because he the Eagles beat writer said it's unclear if he's ever played football before. Like he's the worst wide receiver I've ever seen in my life in training camp.
Wow.
Ugh. We should go look at the very first big board. We'll do that. We'll make this final selection here. Being tied to Aeneas Smith. That's your brand, Chad. That's your brand.
Yeah. As a guy's brand's tied to Ronald Jones, I will agree that's regrettable. I've been there.
I mean, hey, dude, Ronald Jones had a moment in the sun.
He did. He had a moment. He had that. I think it was the 2020 season. Actually, it was a pretty good pick.
He had what, a 90-yard touchdown run against Carolina?
98
really long touchdown run. Yeah.
98 yards to the fucking house.
Imagine getting sniped on this final pick. You just have to take. Nick Nash got picked in the 14th round in this draft, Mr. Eastwood. I don't know how to tell. Things got a little out of control.
Things have gone off the rails. You try to slap up in your final draft and it gets thrown out.
Not
ideal.
This one getting thrown out is just gonna tilt me to the absolute moon. I mean, I'm gonna be livid.
This guy, he's doing his best. He took Amari Cooper. He took Nick Westbrook-Akine. Oh, he took Kamir DK though.
We got
Land
University
Larison.
of California Davis's
Call
own.
Davis back. Call Davis back, Land.
My final pick of the 2025 big board, 3,000 picks. Land Larison. I will enjoy my 72-hour mental vacation. I actually am legitimately getting Chipotle catering on Saturday. I'm driving to go pick it up. I'm getting $300 worth of Chipotle. This is 100% not a bit.
Got to prepare your body for Best Ball Mania.
Well, it's my wife's birthday and we got an Airbnb and we invited some friends and I was like, nice. Instead of getting pizza, why don't I just get Chipotle catering?
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Enjoy, man.
All right, the final. Let's give it a slap grade. Kyler double, Fields with Braylon Allen, Jalen Milroe theoretically in this universe with Rashid Shaheed, Chase Brown, Travion Henderson, DJ Giddens, RJ Harvey, Braylon Allen, Jaden Blue, Land Larison. So that's
so far. This is a 10. This is a 10.
A 5 Bumblebee room. Brian Thomas, Marvin Harrison, Ricky Pearsall, Emeka Egbuka, Rashid Shaheed, Jalen Knowles, Savion Williams, Rondale Moore, Trey McBride, Harold Fannin Jr. Frankly, I can't think of one. We didn't get Nick Nash.
Yeah,
we didn't get Nick Nash.
If you're great, like individually, a 3-quarterback room of Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, Jalen Milroe is 10 out of 10 slap.
10 out of 10.
If you go to the running back room, this is a 10 out of 10 slappy running back room. No question.
No question.
Then you go to the tight end.
2 guys with profile pictures.
And one of them's Braylon Allen. You go to the tight end, and it's Trey McBride and a rookie, not a third.
You know what?
Not a third tight end.
It's the only thing we're missing is Genty.
It's
the
totally.
only thing. And honestly, taking Marv over Worthy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the wide receiver room on its own isn't total slappy.
It's like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Yeah.
But no, I think it's a little higher because anytime you take Rondale Moore and Savion Williams together, which makes it clear you have a type, and that type does not work in the NFL.
I gotta leave room. To improve for next spring, obviously.
I would give the wide receiver room an 8 out of 10.
And McBride Fannin is McBride ahead of ADP, actually.
And Fannin way ahead. Yeah.
9
out of 10 from Daniel. I think that's fair.
So that was the last team drafted on April 18th, finished at noon Central Time. Now let's hop in our time machine and let's go all the way back to Jaden Daniels taking the field against the Philadelphia Eagles. My God, they literally did it during. All right, it has Bowers.
So it's okay. Baker, let's go a little slower. I want to. You have Milrow. You have Milrow on this team too.
It started how it ended. It started how it ended.
Wow. Okay.
I have Caleb Johnson.
Wow.
I have Quinshon Judkins.
Honestly, pretty good running back room here, man.
Najee at pick 137. So there is your guys' example of how there's still value on day one of a contest, even if you don't know the schedule. Najee at pick 137. He goes at pick 70 now. And how about that, Kerrane?
Tootin'.
Pick 224. I knew, brother.
Beautiful.
I knew.
Beautiful.
CD.
All right.
Evans. Marv.
Golden and Hunter. Dude, pick 176
dude.
for Hunter.
Marv at pick 41. Rashi at pick 56.
A UDFA receiver in Ty Felton. So that's good.
And of course,
Taysom. Dude, I Taysom on this team. Dude, we did not.
I should have taken Taysom. I don't know what Taysom was the right round 20 pick.
This team is fucking awesome and slappy as hell. It's a crazy team, but I love it.
I shipped the big board with the first draft and then drafted 149 more.
This team is fucking awesome.
That right there is a very good example of why you want to draft the day that the contest opens.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the example in Best Ball Mania 6 is going to be, but we're going to do this again. Kerrane and I are going to be streaming on September 5th, and we're going to go back and go look, and we'll be like, dude, you got this guy at pick 87. He's at pick 42 now, or whatever.
This team has so much COV. Like even Ingram. Like this team is genuinely good. When did you get Rice? 56 for Rice, dude.
Yeah, the only pick that legit sucks is Felton. Every other pick is good, and Brian Robinson Jr. is not great.
Whatever. You picked him at 104, and it's part of a running back room that's like built for early season production to hand off to the rookies. It's a kind of an awesome running back room, even though you have 3 boring picks. We're
gonna ship it. You know, it's easy. I can't believe the market let us get Landlers in the 20.
This team is awesome, man. Wow.
It would be very poetic for my best team of the entire spring, summer, January to September for it to literally be the first team drafted.
Yeah.
That is my highest scoring, most money winning team. That would be.
You should have just logged off.
I should have just logged off. All right, Kerrane. The NFL draft's coming. What do you guys got at Legendary Upside?
So today I'm going to be jumping on with Ron, and we're going to be talking through the Dynasty draft. So we're going to be doing a little bit of rookie discussion, but from a Dynasty lens, as opposed to best ball. But Ron Stewart does a ton of great Dynasty work, so going to be picking his brain. And I have working on my second piece of the wide receiver previews that I'm doing. All my running back stuff, quarterback stuff, tight end stuff is all already up on Legendary Upside, plus the first part of my wide receivers. So check that all out. Got best ball rankings, dynasty rankings, sidekick. You can check that out at legendaryupside.com/sidekick for dynamic best ball rankings. And then we're gonna be grinding during the draft and have everything ready to go as soon as we can for Best Ball Mania.
Yep. I am literally only taking like 48 hours off. I'm streaming on Monday afternoon with Jacob Gibbs from CBS. We're going to be
nice.
We're going to be doing some rookie stuff because he's been watching a bunch of the film and doing comps and stuff. And He's got access to the really good True Media data because he works for CBS. So he's got a bunch of cool stuff. And then I don't know, man. I'm gonna figure something else out. For 5 days. I think we can all live without stream drafts for 5 days. We could figure. I think we are all gonna be able to make it. Appreciate all you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with all you guys on Monday. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constant.